Come on, everybody get set, let's go. It's the next episode. It's the Premium Pete Show. News, interviews, all of the info. Listen up, it's the Premium Pete Show. If you want the scoop in the low, down low, listen to the show, cause Milk said so. Fuck what you heard, better act like you know. Miss Lissa knows. It's the Premium Pete Show.
Dan, Petey, and Liz, yeah, we back again. Niggas talking real reckless, stunt man. I adopted these niggas, put a drum in them. Now I'm about to make them tuck their whole summer in.
Sure.
They say I'm crazy, well, I'm about to go dumb again. They ain't see me cause I pull up in the other bins. Last week I was in my other bins. Throw your diamonds up cause we in this bitch another again.
Listen, you heard
Wow.
that. What do you think about that, Ciph?
Amazing. Incredible.
Are you fucking lying or you just...
No way. That was fire.
Hello, he feeling heat. Muy caliente.
Hey, listen, internets, listen. Welcome back to another episode of the Premium Pete Show.
Okay.
Miss Listen knows. We didn't ask you fucking Ciph. 1 second there, okay?
Okay.
We're following suit. Last week, amazing episode, Charlemagne the God. Okay? Aren't you a fucking 5%er?
I was.
Oh, was.
Oh, now you the other 95%. Now
Would
you're
you
95%.
give it up now, Ciph?
No, I don't practice every day like, real mathematicians.
You're
but
not in the dojo
You
every
can't
day?
not be a 5%er once you are one.
You eat pork sometimes?
No, I don't eat pork.
All right, no swine and dine?
No.
All right.
But anyway, great episode. Internet, I appreciate y'all fucking with it. I mean, so many people really... To me, it was honestly... It was like intellectual,
Yeah.
and also just funny.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, no, it really just broke down his career, and I said it's crazy because my thoughts right off the bat was, and I've been speaking to Ciph about this for a minute. Me and Ciph have history, but I was like, yo, I wanted to really appreciate Juan Epstein.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to do an episode with Ciph and Rosenberg.
I appreciate
together.
it.
No, most definitely. And I was like, yo, because I feel like even though we came after the Juan Epstein, and I just feel like nobody really pays attention to that. You always see, Rosenberg complaining on Twitter to certain blogs that have podcasts now that won't post an amazing podcast that you guys have done.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one that was. Could be the De La Soul. Could have been whatever.
Rakim.
Yeah, Rakim. I mean,
Rakim was the one we were trying to get for a long time.
And when you look back, and shouts to Elliot and B. Dot and I fucks with Rap Radar, but now that they have their own podcast, they're not going to post. They don't post Combat Jack Show anymore. They don't post Juan Epstein, so they don't post it. And that drives them crazy. I know, though, it bothers your fucking friend. It bothers your friend.
It definitely bothers him. I don't give a shit.
Anyway, so I seen Rosenberg the other night at Foot Locker, where you were DJing. Great job you did.
Right. Foot Locker event. It wasn't at a Foot Locker.
It was Foot Locker event, okay?
Yeah, I was DJ at Foot Locker. Yo,
Well,
I'm right by the white tees, y'all. Go get a 5 for 20.
Ain't no
Jimmy
wrong.
Jazz is the real spot if you're going to be DJing in the store.
Anyway, we talk, and I told him, I said, listen, this is what I wanted to do, and he was all for it. And I wanted him hitting him and let him know, but you know what? He's a busy dude right now.
He's very busy.
And besides that, he said he didn't want to come pause after Charlemagne.
Oh, right after?
Nah, he didn't want to
Sloppy
do
seconds?
it. Yeah, so I said, you know what? You never know, Rosenberg. Let me appreciate Ciph while he's here because he could die next week. God
Yeah,
forbid.
what if I die next week?
Exactly.
Yeah, you stay trying to kill people.
Nah, not kill him, but me and Ciph have enough pictures for Instagram if he dies.
Everyone you know might die soon, so tell them you love them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Give people their roses.
Tell them you
here.
love them.
Spiritual Ciph. Could
Ow.
you fucking believe that? Spiritual Ciph. But anyway, make a long story short, I said I'm still going to do Juan Epstein. So maybe in the top of the year, we'll
Please.
do that. But for now, I says, listen, both of you have done so much things throughout your career.
Yeah.
How can I not just do, each of them?
Okay.
So Ciph,
Here I am.
Cipha Sounds is on the fucking Premium Pete Show.
Al.
Welcome, Ciph.
That was
Thank you so
a
much.
good intro. You got a
Great
whole
intro.
inauguration speech. We are happy to have you here. It's great.
Now,
Even though
first
your
off-
partner's not here. It's okay.
First off, right off the bat,
Yes.
you've made a living, a career out of being on time, out of being in the right place at the right time on fucking time.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're 10 minutes late today.
No, I wasn't late.
Oh, okay. What happened?
I was here.
Okay.
I got caught up outside
Okay.
talking to can I say it?
Who?
Somebody.
Okay,
Somebody
okay.
from
Somebody you knew.
Okay.
Somebody.
An old friend of mine.
Let's say War John.
Okay, War
Yeah,
John.
I saw War John outside, and he was playing me something. So,
Okay,
and then I had
let's
to use
go.
the bathroom.
Shout out to War John.
So,
Okay. Not
I
that
apologize for my lateness. And also, podcasts never start on time because everything you were doing when I walked in, you could have been doing before 8 o'clock. You were still setting up levels. She was rapping, talking about sucking dick and eating pussy.
Whoa,
you could have did all that already.
I wasn't talking about that.
You know, I'm just saying, it could have been
He
done.
was talking about sucking
I
dick.
When you do a podcast, when your guest walks in, you hit record and you go.
So, okay. Thank you for the fucking.
Wait, you got the 10 pod commandments?
I'll teach you how to do podcasts. We
10
had
pod commandments.
The first hip hop podcast.
Okay, now that you want to fucking boast about Juan Epstein, first of all,
Yes.
obviously we know Juan is
Yeah.
Spanish,
Yeah.
Epstein is Jewish.
Yeah.
But where did that name even
It's
form
from a television show called Welcome Back, Kotter.
Oh, of course, welcome back.
Yeah, the-
Cincinnati, 92 WKRB.
No, not the same show.
Okay, my bad.
I see what you're saying.
Welcome back, Potter.
Kotter.
Cotter.
But there was a character who was Puerto Rican and Jewish named Juan Epstein.
Really?
Yeah. So we just threw that on there.
Yeah. But anyway, let's take it all the way back because it's like you've been in so many different walks of
Too
life.
much.
Like, I mean, you've been in.
Too much.
It's funny how I say I want to continue with radio, but you're not really doing radio anymore.
No.
But you've done so much of it.
Yeah.
Right? Let's go all the way back, even just like growing up, right?
Growing up.
Where?
Bronx, New York City.
Mom and dad?
The Bronx. My dad died when I was 3.
Oh, really?
So I didn't know him much.
How did that happen?
But he drowned.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a good swimmer?
I am a good swimmer. He didn't drown because he wasn't a good swimmer. He lost his glasses when the boat went over, and he didn't know where he was swimming to, so he just got lost in the ocean.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah, but that's a great way to start off an upbeat podcast, huh?
Right. That's
The
You
reason
too
why
late.
the reason why I asked you that for is mainly just I always like to find out, if mom and dad was in your life.
Yes.
I always feel like, just growing up, I grew up with my mom and dad. For a couple of years, there was no dad. But, I've been around so many people in group homes and being away and being here to seeing people grow up without, certain members in their family and it's affected them. So I
Yeah.
always like to ask that, just to know what it's like to grow up. How was it like growing up with just mom? I mean, was she mom and dad or
Yeah, my mom was great. My mom was super young though. Mm-hmm. My mom had me when she was 16.
young Latina?
Yeah. My mom, she's half Puerto Rican, half Irish.
Really?
But wasn't really raised Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay.
Her father bounced on her too.
So corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day?
Exactly.
Okay.
But my mom was hardworking, never was like poor, never like dirt poor, never on welfare, anything like that. My mom busted her ass.
What did she do?
All different shit, little stuff here and there, until eventually she worked for FedEx for like 25 years or something like that. But my grandmother helped raise me. My father's family was always around.
Do you have siblings?
One sister,
Older?
younger.
Oh.
Yeah,
What did she
Same
do?
pops?
different pops.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did she do?
Her and my mom moved to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah,
Fuck.
they're down there. She works for some import-export thing. I don't even know what she does, to be honest
Some
with you.
crazy shit.
Your mother
Some
works
shipping.
your mother worked for the government. If you don't know.
No, not
she
my.
might
That's
be-
my sister. My mom
Oh.
is a interior designer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and a Zumba teacher.
Oh, my God. An Irish Puerto Rican Zumba teacher.
She looks more Puerto Rican.
I can only imagine.
Ow, she
that.
got the cake. She over here Zumba
What's her first name?
and teaching girls how to keep them hips together.
I got to see how
making sure they
Spanish
don't
she is.
lie.
What's her first name?
Jenny.
Oh, my God. What the
Jenny
fuck?
Rivera?
That is how you know that?
Come on, man. It's me. Miss Listen knows. So.
Nah, you just guessed that.
Now, you
No,
know
I
what?
didn't.
You know
so
what?
you always wanted to be in radio?
But we didn't even get to fucking
Nah,
radio
I
yet.
just come on, just change it because he trying to
Yeah,
get on
we'll
me.
get back to that. Actually, you know what? Being that we started the intro with you, usually we do an intro. But
Okay.
we're not going to do an intro. We're going to do the intro with you.
Okay.
So chime in, feel free, and then we're going to get back to fucking Cipha Sounds.
Okay.
We got fucking Cipher. Listen, I don't know what y'all kind of friendship. I'm not getting back to fucking Cipher.
No, we're getting back to
Why
Cipha.
not?
But listen.
I'm not with it. I don't ruin married homes. I can't do it once I drop it on you. Now the thing's gonna
shit,
change.
you
I'll
hear
drop
this?
it on you.
Oh, shit. You hear that? Latino. He get that fucking tongue going
He
right
gonna
in your
tell you,
ass. You never
listen,
know
I
what
will
happens.
rape his face.
Listen, Thanksgiving
Yeah.
is today, actually.
Okay.
When it
Happy
drops.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, internets, and hope you're enjoying time with your family. And for
Do me a quick favor.
What?
Just spend a little bit of time thinking of the indigenous people that were slaughtered.
Right.
just a little. Just give them a little bit. Give them a half a minute.
But what does Thanksgiving mean to you? Honestly?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
I mean,
you was raised by Jehovah?
No. When I got knowledge of self,
Hello.
holidays mean nothing.
okay.
It's a made up holiday in order to try to reconciliate what they did to the natives. And it's a made up holiday in the 1800s. There was no dinner with the Pilgrims and the Indians. All that is bullshit. And I don't follow bullshit.
Right.
Got it?
You eating or not? You eating or not?
I mean, I'll take a plate.
Don't act like you not gonna
I'll
get the
take a
pernil.
Listen, I'm gonna take a plate. You know what I'm saying? But I would protest while I eat.
Now, your wife is Philippine, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that wow, she's cooking a lot of.
Nah,
different
she's
shit.
American. She's
Oh
not,
my God, man, what the fuck? I thought you were a real Puerto Rican. She's not a real Filipino.
Nah, we're Americans.
Yeah,
And it's Filipino. That's
Okay.
what you
He's
gotta say.
Italian.
Same
They don't,
shit.
come in, they don't know
Same
a lot
shit.
of words.
Yo, you know,
Just let
somebody
him-
tweeted today. They says that Premium Pete and Noriega should have a podcast called Broken English. Yo, that shit had me dying. But anyway, internet. A reason why I bring up Thanksgiving is not only happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, your next door neighbor, whoever the fuck is listening. And if you're not listening on Thanksgiving, then hey, Thanksgiving was whenever you were not listening. But I will say this. This year I'm doing it different. I come from a big Italian family.
Yeah.
And my mother says, hey, listen, your sister is not going to be around this year. She's going with her in-laws. And your other sister is going up to her in-laws in Boston. So we're going to go to my Aunt Marie's house if you want to come. I said, you know what, Ma, I'm going to do my own thing then.
Yeah.
And I never did that. We always spend the family. It's humongous, tons of food, whatever.
Yeah, but once the people get married and
Exactly.
older, it changes
Exactly.
up.
So I tell my lady, I say, listen, we're going to have it. But we only have like her mother-in-law. I mean, her mother.
Yeah.
So my mother. So it's basically, only like the four of us.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, we'll cook. We'll make like fucking this, and this. I said, you know what? I called her. I says, we're gonna go out to eat on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
So for the first time in my life, an Italian coming from a humongous fucking family,
Yeah.
I am going out to eat
Nice.
on Thanksgiving. I'm not fucking with turkey, but I'm just gonna get all the sides and fix.
I've had many a Thanksgiving dinner at the Chelsea
Denny's?
Square Diner on 23rd and 9th.
Really?
Many a Thanksgiving dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. So anyway, internets, listen, we're talking about Thanksgiving. Okay? We're talking about family. Ciph is telling you that really don't think Thanksgiving is really what it is. But
So he's
also
telling them the
I'm
truth.
saying, if you're going to give thanks, but also just give the little natives a little bit of love.
of course, I agree. But let's get back to Ciph's growing up. He's growing up in the Bronx.
Yeah.
High school, what high school you went to?
I went to 1 year of aviation high school in Queens.
Is that where you got to wear a fucking uniform?
They
Nah.
rape girls in that school.
Okay, I don't know about that.
Ciph, what the fuck did you do?
No, I didn't do anything.
He wasn't
There
involved.
was no
Not that
girls.
year. Not
There
that.
was no girls in that school when I
Really?
went
And that's why they were saying it, because that girls,
Yeah.
they get eaten alive because it's
there.
not.
2,000 guys, 200 girls.
Exactly. You are
And I mean, you
preyed
got to
on.
think of a girl. No disrespect. But you got to think of what type of girl wants to be an airplane mechanic.
Ooh.
She's not the finest chick in the
Ooh.
world. No disrespect.
Yeah, ooh. Ooh.
They hating, but they broke them. So yeah, there was no girls at high school. Then my 10th grade year, my mom moves to Long Island.
Oh my God.
She gets a promotion and moves to Long Island. So I was 10th. So the rest of high school, I was in MacArthur High School in Levittown, Long Island. And if anybody's listening from MacArthur High School, shout me out, because there's not one person ever that hits me up and is like, yo, we went to high school together.
MacArthar, okay.
Nobody.
Yeah,
Was it like a culture shock for you?
Yes. That's what got me into like music and stuff.
Right.
Because it was like,
Why? Because you're just bored?
He had no friends. They was
just
like,
like,
listen, he's
no,
still,
it was, people was cool. Everybody was cool, man. But it was just like go from the Bronx to like a white high school.
Yeah.
It's just like I would watch videos more, listen to the radio more, because it just reminded me of home. And then that's how I got more into music, you know?
And people who don't know Ciph would probably think that he was high all the time.
All the
This
time.
motherfucker, his eyes are fucking a second away from being closed.
Yeah, I'll show you my baby pictures, the same eyes, yo.
But here's
never
the thing,
smoked.
you don't do drugs.
I never smoked anything, did drugs, nothing.
Never?
Never.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy when you think about
Praise
it.
the Lord.
How do you, honest, for people, I mean, we live in a world where so many people do drugs.
Yeah.
How do you think you escape doing that? Honestly, I mean, if you could ever think.
It's not that hard. You just say no. I mean, no, not cliche-ish,
You
but
sound like you're from the PTA.
I
from
know.
the fucking-
But I didn't want to do it. It didn't appeal to me at all. I have no desire, so I just be like, no, thanks. And like, how you don't do that? Like,
But you seem like a
So
person.
what was like your vice? Or like what did you do for
Food.
leisure? Okay.
I eat a lot, so I got.
He did
fat
blow up
gut.
after a while, but not like when he was young. He was more skinny. I seen.
I just had
later
more
on.
metabolism.
Right. But you still had the appetite.
But like work too. I was a workaholic. I work too much.
What's your
I've
sign?
lost many relationships due to work.
You're a Capricorn?
Aries.
Oh my God, what's
Yeah.
Aries?
Aries
ram
are.
that puss. Sorry, that's disgusting. I shouldn't have said that.
Be nice.
They
I
are.
say that.
An Aries doesn't mind starting from the bottom and working their way up. They are a man of their word, and they would prefer to tell you no than tell you yes and not be able to like follow through.
Deliver.
See, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. She's fucking. She
Yeah,
knows what
that's
she's
real.
talking about. This astrologist
does.
fucking.
Call me now.
Look at that.
The podcast reading. It's me, Miss Lissa Norse.
Now let me ask you. You're in Long Island.
Yeah.
Obviously, for people who don't know, Cipha Sounds. What was your first break? Obviously, Jessica Rosenboom. I know. You were hanging. How did you even meet her?
Yeah.
Even
Well,
Flex. Even interning for Flex. What
all
came
I
first?
All I came from DJ Riz.
Okay.
And Wild Man Steve. They
Okay,
had
okay.
a show at a Delphi University.
Yep.
Wild Man Steve let me. I went there one day with some rap group, just going with them. They went to a college radio station, and then when I was up there, I was like, "Hey, can I work here? Can I answer phones or whatever?" And Wild Man Steve said, "Yeah, sure. You can help us with guests and answer the phones." And DJ Riz was the DJ of that show. And eventually, I started asking him if I could go with him to clubs. And he didn't have a car, so I was like, "Hey, I'll drive you." You know what I'm saying?
You had a whip.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little Datsun.
Oh, that's
I mean,
nice.
Little Datsun.
And how
200.
old were you? Would you say at this time?
Probably 19.
God damn.
Yeah, 18, 19.
Okay.
And then I would start picking Riz up, taking him to the clubs. He DJ'd at the Tunnel.
Okay.
He was the opener.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started meeting Flex, Big Cap, Jessica, and then Riz started getting his own gigs and didn't want to open up the Tunnel anymore. So Jessica got me to do it.
So Jessica Rosenboom
Yeah.
was doing all the management at the time
She
of the
was
Tunnel, or what?
She was a promoter of that party, the
okay.
Mecca
So
party.
she chose who the DJs were. Also.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So
And then,
so Riz recommended you.
Yeah. And then they said, "You want to DJ, blah, blah, blah." Like, really, like, it was because Cap was always late. Rest in peace. Big Cap was always late. Oh, the late Big Cap.
The
fitting.
late great.
The late, great Big Cap. And he was very late.
It's and as we brought to the beginning, you made a career out of being on time and being at the right place.
Absolutely.
But what was Jessica Rosenboom's first impression of you?
I don't know. I think, honestly, I got the job because Cap was always late, and they used to let... It was like the first 500 girls free in the Tunnel. So the girls would be lined up at 7 o'clock, like outside the Tunnel, summertime, and the sun is still out, and these girls are outside lined up. So they needed music on at like 9 o'clock.
Right.
So I would get there dumb early, and Cap was supposed to come at 10, and then he saw there was someone opening, so he started coming 10:15, 10:30, 10:45, 11 o'clock, and I just played.
And they need
And
people
to
move.
this day, I'll see girls in the street, and they'll be like, "Yo, I used to fuck with you in the Tunnel," because I played all the dope R&B records.
Sure,
It was
sure.
just, there was like 400 girls in there before any dude even walked in. So I was just like playing mad R&B joints. And like right now, I have a playlist on Tidal called, two of them called Ladies Free, 90s R&B. And that's like all the joints I used to play in the Tunnel.
That's
Nice.
dope.
So Jessica puts you on.
Yeah.
Now what happens to Cap? He don't lose his job,
No,
does
no,
he?
Cap was just played
Play later
next.
on?
Yeah, he played
Okay,
next,
yep,
and
yep.
then Flex would go on.
So she likes what you're doing. What even? Okay, how do you meet Flex?
So Flex was the main DJ. So it would be me, I would play, and then Cap would play, and then I would get back on and play a half-hour reggae.
Okay.
Because Flex wanted, like, it's like cleaning the palette for a DJ. Like,
Okay.
change up the music completely, and then when I come on, I'm going to play the biggest record of the night, which is the Benjamins, or Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Could See, or Hypnotize, or, you know what I'm saying? So, like, play some other shit. So I play half an hour of reggae. And Flex saw that I was, like, not trying to play the hits. I was just an on-point guy. I've always been on point. Follow the rules, been on point, be on time, and you just eventually, like, you got, like, especially for an opener, you're the guy who's there first, so they got to trust you're going to be on time.
Sure.
And it's just like that. Like, if you don't fuck that up, it's hard to fuck up.
No, it's amazing because as we get through this episode and then when we're finished with it, people will see that, like I said, and I'll say it again, you made a living out of being on time and being at the right place at the
Yeah.
right time. We even go, so again, with Flex, so he was...
Yeah, so I meet Flex. The first day he saw me, he was like, he tells Jessica, he's like, "Yo, tell that kid when I get on, he can't be in the booth." So, like, another thing, let me tell you another thing why I win. Right there is where Ghetto Pride steps in, and people be like, "Yo, that nigga try to sun me." And then yo, fuck him. No. You got to take your whippings, you got to take your lashes, take your L's, and eventually you win. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that shit, like, yo, he tried to play me, he said I can't be in the booth. Yeah, it's his booth. He makes the rules. That's it. Deal with it. And eventually, I got to stay in the booth after he gets to know me, knows that I'm on point with the music. I could suggest good records to him, and I was always on time. Then he asked me if I wanted to open up. Then Cap asked me if I want to open up at the Palladium. Then Flex was like, yo, I'm doing this LL album release party. I need you to play for an hour before I get there. Don't be late. Boom, I get there 2 hours early. Play, and then eventually he's like, yo, can you come help me at the radio station? Why does he ask me when there's 1,000 other people he could ask?
Because you're reliable.
Because he knows I'm reliable, I know the music, and I'm going to be on point.
How did money come into this? Like, meaning, like, was Jessica
They still owe me money.
Really?
No.
Like, how did
Everybody
you know?
eats B.
No, but how did you know what to charge? Did Jessica handle that, or
What do you mean for what? Like
for DJing, for opening,
Yeah, then
for your next endeavors? Like, meaning, like, when he told
then
you.
Jessica became my manager.
Okay.
So it's like when you have the same manager as Funkmaster Flex, it's you have a little bit of leverage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, because I can imagine her saying, like, look, Flex is booked tonight, but I can send Cipha Sounds.
Nah, that was the last on the list. There was a lot of DJs before, but but you're hiring Flex. He likes this guy to open,
Yes.
or he's only going to use this guy to open. So every night he had a gig, I'd get, I don't know, $250, $300, $500. If I got 500, I thought I was.
This was
Ballin'.
17 years ago, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do the same kind of hazing process to the DJs that came after
Yup,
you?
Absolutely.
Like, get the fuck out of my booth.
All the DJs that came through me, look at Juanito, Bobby Trends, Drewski, all of them got the same treatment no, it's not as bad because Flex got it. But Flex gave it to me bad, pause. Chuck Chillout gave it to Flex even worse. But yeah, that's the process. And everybody who came through my camp is successful right now. Or they quit the game.
Yeah.
There's no like half-ass. My boy Trip came through me, who still works for Flex. A lot of people, man.
You gonna be on Hot 97 with Drewski? Are you gonna be on Love and Hip Hop? No Love and Hip Hop for you?
No.
Him and his wife live a nice, beautiful fireplace marriage. They don't want to fucking be. Who the fuck? Shouts to Drewski. It's dope to see his climb, but I see him like writing all this stuff like we're gonna get ratchet. I'm like, what the fuck?
He is ratchet though. It's not an act.
No. I'm not saying that he's acting. I'm saying when is that like an ambition to be ratchet?
Some people like it.
All right.
Some people like being
But
ratchet.
it's not for you.
It's not for me. It's not for me at all.
But congrats to him, and I know you've done a lot of stuff to him. With him.
With him.
Yeah.
For him. Drewski came through the same. I met Drewski when he was 19. He said the same things to me that I said to Flex. Yeah. Wherever I gotta be, I'll be there on time. I want to work.
Yeah.
Boom. Show up here. He showed up.
Sure.
Next time he showed up. I like this kid. And eventually, I got him this. I helped him get that. I'm not saying I did anything for him. He did it himself, but I put him in the right position.
And Angie, I believe, helped too. I feel like because you don't think she looked out a lot too
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got him the job with Angie.
Yeah.
Angie's like, I'm looking for somebody. I said, I really don't want to give up my guy who helps me out, but it will be a good move for him.
Sure, and that's a beautiful thing. Looking out for somebody what's the point? People don't do that.
Nobody
these days,
does it. I don't know why.
Because they're
I don't
afraid.
know why.
They're afraid.
People think it's going to take away from them, and they think that it's going to
Drewski's going to be bigger than me. He's about to be on TV every night. Great. I'm happy for him. I don't have that same desire. I'm not going to hate on him. I brought Drewski when we were doing the Hot 97 VH1 show that flopped. Mona was the producer of that. I suggested that she use Drewski from back then.
He's a white kid with fucking blue eyes.
He's black.
He's okay.
He's blacker than black.
He's a ginger.
No problem.
And
but his eyes alone.
He's white by
something.
accident.
Two things I hate about certain guys.
Yeah.
The guys that fucking super muscle and wear those skinny shirts. I'm like, look at these fucking guys. Meanwhile, deep down, I'm like, man, I wish I had that fucking muscles. Because I've heard girls say, like, his fucking body's hot. I like to fuck him.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying every girl's like that, but I've heard
it.
Say,
yes.
And I know girls who
Where
fuck
you having
guys.
these conversations with women about who they want?
Over the years, I'm saying.
Okay.
I know girls who have loved guys because of their eyes.
Yeah.
The color of their eyes. Oh my God, did you see his eyes?
It's like, bitch, he don't see blue. He see regular just like everybody else.
I got brown. Can I get that head too?
Nah.
But anyway, listen. Shouts to Drewski. Shouts to everything he's doing. Shouts to you for being a bigger person.
This girl, it's not a bigger person.
No, you are. You listen to me.
It's not a bigger person.
What is he doing?
It's just that He understands that lighting someone else's candle doesn't put his flame out.
Exactly.
Ooh,
So
you heard
it's
that?
just gonna.
Exactly.
He
You
gets
heard that?
more blessings by doing that, and that the legacy that he's
It's all
building is
blessings.
going to be bigger because of the fact that he isn't afraid to lend a helping hand.
The only thing I hate is when people don't say thank you or show the love
Oh
back.
God, you
Yeah,
so
but that
right.
I
happens
hate
a lot.
that.
You ready to
Sometimes
kill
It
your
happens all the
ass.
time.
Sometimes you help
Say
people out.
their names.
No,
I don't want to say
Fuck them.
Okay, let's get back to Flex.
Yeah.
Is Flex one of them?
No.
Okay.
Flex says,
Flex never said. Flex says,
Flex says, come to the radio
"You know,
station.
I'm not gonna give you money.
Okay.
I'm gonna teach you how to make money.
Right.
What you do with that is your business." He tells me come to the radio station, help out. Like this is when he went the first when he became like a jock. Like he got his 7 o'clock show. Before that, he just used to DJ at 10 o'clock. So now he's a air personality.
Yes.
Right.
So I need
Actually
help.
speaking
I
on-
need help in set up my records, ordering food, getting the guests, recording, all that stuff. So I was like, yeah, I would love to do it. The show started at 7. I was there at 6 o'clock every night. Me and Big Dennis. We was in
Shouts to
there.
Big Dennis.
Shouts to Big Dennis. We was in there, and I did everything I was supposed to do and then some. And sometimes Flex would be in the back recording an interview. He's like, yo, play like 4 records for me. I go in there and I play them there's many a time on the radio where it was me DJing and not Flex for a couple songs. And I know how to DJ like him.
Like his transitions
Yeah.
and the way he would like
His scratch where
bomb.
he-
Let me throw the bomb
he
on it
goes
7
back.
times right here.
Flex has a way of scratching where he pulls the record back and then stops it. There's like a half a second pause. I know everybody's style.
That's dope.
So Flex, he gives you an opportunity.
Yeah.
You come up to the radio station.
Yep.
No money involved. What's your first thoughts of that?
Was I getting?
Were you like, oh, this
no.
is an opportunity?
Of course, yeah, it was an opportunity.
No, but again, I know you. For some reason, you have a one-sided view of what people think. Most people these days will say, "Fuck that! I need money."
Yeah.
This is a different day and time, though.
No, I know.
Still
Like-
the same. Still the
Think
same.
so?
Yes.
I feel like
tell
this.
everybody that asks me advice, how do you make it? Work for free. That's my first piece of advice. Work for free. And then Flex, he didn't give me money, but he would buy me food every night. I ordered the food. So I would go order him food, order Dennis food, order me food. Did I order extra so I have breakfast in the morning? Yup.
But that's your drug.
I would sneak. I hustled it. I order extra food, hide it in my
Be
bag.
real Spanish.
Yeah, eat that shit for tomorrow. And then like Flex at that time was DJing 4 or 5 nights a week. So after that, I'd go to open up at the club, make money. You know what I'm saying? I figured out how to do it. Then Jessica got me DJing for Lil Kim.
Whoa! You're going right into that. How did that even happen?
It's not a crazy,
It is. Listen, you were there from the beginning.
Getting the job that's Jessica relationship with Un and Jacob.
Okay, okay.
And they said Kim needs a DJ. Let's call the biggest DJ manager. They call Kim, Jessica.
Jessica Rosenbaum.
She
This
said you wanna
is
go on the
fresh
road with
off
Kim.
of when she's coming off of Junior Mafia.
This is she had out
Get Money.
the Junior
Hardcore?
Mafia records.
Get Money
No,
remix?
Hardcore wasn't even out yet.
Oh.
Get Money remix, Players Anthem,
Yep.
and a couple R&B records.
Okay.
I forgot the one we used
Maybe
to
the one
always
with
do.
Silk.
The one that's is it still
I forget. I think Clark Kent remixed it.
print.
Maybe.
Boom, boom, boom. Brr.
Oh, it's my shit, Mr. Big.
Yes,
you know you
exactly.
got to keep me
Yeah.
jigs.
She
Hey.
had that.
That's
she
my
had
shit.
she had a couple other R&B joints, and then she had Not Tonight out. the
Not
one with
tonight.
Puffy.
Okay.
And that was it. We was going to do promo shows, and
So you get the call. Wait, sorry. You get the call from Jessica, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, listen, do you want to?"
Kim needs a DJ. Yeah,
Did she even mention
So-
money?
yeah, 300 a week.
300.
No matter how many shows, 300 a week.
Fuck.
300 a week, not a show.
Damn, Psycho, I respect you even
300
more
a
now.
week.
How
So
the
then-
fuck did you get any type of fucking snacks on that?
So I worked during the week. I worked at a record shop called Fat Beats.
I mean, yeah.
which was like super
Legendary.
underground.
Yeah, but
and
still
then,
legendary.
And then on the weekends, I was fucking with mink jackets and popping champagne. It was a crazy mix. And
So you went on the road.
I love it.
went on the road. Had a per diem. To this day, I just put it on Instagram the other day. Un still owes me all my per diem from back then.
Oh
Never
my
got
God.
it. But then Kim starts blowing up. Like,
Yeah.
then the album comes out. Album hits. You know what I'm saying? So now she's like, we're doing more shows. Then
Who was
eventually,
on tour? Who was on tour with you? Little Caesar?
C's, Trife.
Actually, you know what? I remember you talking about this with me.
Yeah.
About Little Caesar and them. They were at that time, which is something that blew my fucking mind. They were all listening to Tupac on the road.
Tupac, yep.
How? Well,
They
tell
taught
about
me
that shit.
about Tupac. They taught me about
He had the song "Hit 'Em Up" come out. They were bumping that shit.
loud.
Didn't that blow your fucking mind?
It was hilarious to me. I'm like, he's dissing you on this record. And he goes, yeah, but Duke's hot, though.
I don't understand.
You hot.
What did you...
Hit him up.
And
you know Meek probably be tapping his foot a little bit to back to back. Like, he just be like, show the move a little bit. Like,
it's not bad.
Yeah, like, he be like nodding a little
There's
bit.
No way.
Like,
There's no way Meek doesn't hear that line, is a world tour, your girls tour, and go, it's a good line.
you know,
it's a good line.
Even something even funnier, I remember you telling me how being on tour with Lil Kim, Junior Mafia, Little C's, who else was on tour?
Nino Brown.
That the hotel room that you used to stay at used to be where all the groupies used to come.
No, the girls who weren't groupies, the groupies' friends.
Okay, the groupies' friends.
I had the holding pattern room.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
For the ugly bitches?
They wasn't ugly.
They weren't ugly.
They just wasn't hoes.
Yeah.
So what's
the screening process like? They had pants on, and her titties ain't out.
They were just waiting for their friend. They was waiting for their friend. I was getting mashed out.
Yeah. So the process was all these girls wanted to meet Lil Kim. Yeah. Listen, do you know about this?
No.
All these girls wanted to meet Lil Kim.
Road,
so what was the process of them to meet Lil Kim?
You can meet Kim in the morning when we're on the way to the airport. So you had to fuck Junior Mafia.
The whole team?
Yeah,
it was a run through.
I
don't want to meet her that much. She's like, "What's Foxy doing?" I know.
But how did that even happen? So the morning time would come.
Yeah, and then Kim would be in the car, and they would be like, yo, Kim, say what's up to these girls. So Kim would roll down the window. They'd be like, I love you, Kim. She's like, I love you too, baby.
Oh, my God.
And that's it. No picture. I mean, there's no cell phone cameras back
then. They didn't want to pull
a
up
couple people got a picture, but
God
Kim in the morning is, got the rag on. Like, she would just say hi.
She got the sleep wig on. Like,
yeah.
This is my sleep hair.
Now
Kim was mad cool. Like, that was her little brothers. Like, she was like, yeah, I'm
gonna say niggas got pussy. Y'all bitches good. Nice to meet you. Baby wipe. Here you go.
Did you ever take advantage of all that pussy that was around? And I don't mean to be sexist. I'm just saying
not the way you're thinking.
Yeah,
there was a couple girls. I met a couple girls.
Okay.
Never. I could count the times I've ever smashed on the first night.
He's like a Romeo. You want to be a nice guy at this age?
I definitely made a lot of friends.
Yeah, but these girls know
a lot of friends.
Can you spot when someone's flirting with you?
Not really. Kinda. I don't know.
One flirt, I'm jumping right in that.
There's girls. There's girls.
Nigga.
There's girls now that be like, I always used to like you. I'm like, why didn't you tell me?
I'm married now.
Why didn't you tell me back then?
Them bitches is lying. They ain't like you.
But there was girls
married.
on the road I would meet, and then I would get their info, and then next time we was in town, I would hit them up, and then we would hang out.
Okay.
But I don't know. I wasn't the first night of smasher. Just not my. I wasn't good at it.
Yeah. So you were on tour with Lil Kim. How long did that last?
Maybe 2 years.
Yeah, that was a long time.
I left at one point. I quit.
Why?
I don't. It was also a lot of bullshit.
Like what?
And then just fucking. I don't know.
It was her entourage, or was it her?
I mean, it wasn't nothing bad.
You don't like weed, that's right.
Yeah, I didn't want to just be background my whole life, and it was only $300 a week. Eventually, I was
never went up.
No, that's what I'm saying. When I quit, they got some other DJ. He was the worstest, so they asked me to come back. I got $300 a show. I thought I was rich. $300 a show, and she's doing 5 shows a week.
Right.
So I'm coming home with $1,500 cash, and she would pay for my cab from the airport.
And you order extra food.
So they missed every flight, every flight. I don't understand. We would meet at Big's house in Teaneck. We're going to Newark Airport or LaGuardia Airport. The flight is at, let's say, 1 p.m.
Right.
I get to their house 10. I'm waiting outside in the truck, or I go in the house, and it's 11:30. I'm like, don't we need to go to the airport? And they just having cereal. They just had Biggie's mom is there, Biggie's daughter's there, and they're I'm like, it's not my show. I'm the backup band, and I just sit there, and they're not even dressed. There's chicks in the crib. I'm like, don't we have a flight?
You always said that rappers are
late.
Always. I think what else you said? They're late. They're like you said that. I remember you saying something about. I think that if you were ever to be a rapper, you would crush it.
I'd be the.
But why? Why do you say that?
Because I show up on time. I'd take opportunities. I'd get shit done. I wish I could rap. If I could rap. Will Smith told me he performed at, I think he said 3 Super Bowls because somebody was late or they didn't get back to them on time.
Damn.
Or they didn't show up and they called Will Smith and he was like, I'm there. Wow. It's just being on point.
Okay, so well, obviously, internets who listen to the Premium Show, we're going to bounce around. So Flex, you work a couple years with Flex. Yeah. When did you start getting paid at Hot 97?
You always want to know about people's money.
No, because that's when it starts to get real.
I mean, I got one show. I got like a mixed show. It was called the Big Dog Pitbull Hours. Me and Cap.
Okay.
That was like Sunday nights at midnight or something like that. That was like a shift pay, which at the time was probably like $140
for the night.
Yeah, like a radio shift. Then, and then eventually, I think Scribble quit or got fired. I don't remember.
And he had
but he had a midnight show on Saturdays, I think. So my boss was like, "Can you fill in because we let him go?" So So then I was on point. I showed up every Saturday midnight. Then my boss saw that I was on point. I would fill in for Flex. And then
now, when you fill in, you get obviously that fill-in money.
I wasn't technically an employee at the time.
Okay.
But then I got my own show called Cipha Saturdays. That's where it all starts.
I remember that. Yep.
Cipha Saturdays is where I became an official employee and where I got like a paycheck. But it was still only shift pay. It was like $250
for a night.
It was in the daytime, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
But $250 is like one shift of radio is that like $250 or I don't know, something like that. So then that's when I started getting that's when I became an employee. I had to fill out paperwork. Before that, I was just an intern.
Sure.
Flex's intern.
Okay, so you, as you're making your way up in Hot 97, you're seeing people come and go. Mm-hmm. Flex, you still doing things with Flex?
Yeah, still doing Flex, yeah.
Where did Cipha Don't Get Gas? Because for a New York kid growing up, you would always hear that drop where it says, Cipha Don't Get Gas. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? I mean, I know
the only
Don't
drop
Get Gas
I had.
Means, but what does it
because
mean?
Russell Simmons was giving me a drop. Okay. Russell Simmons was giving Flex drops.
Okay.
And I was like, Russ, could I have a drop? Mm-hmm. And he goes, this is Russell Simmons chilling with Cipha Sounds. And Flex comes in and is like, don't get gas. He yells, don't get gas, because I got a drop from Russell Simmons.
Okay.
So the only drop I ever had for a long time, even when I was filling in for Flex, was, hey, this is Russell Simmons chilling with Cipha Sounds. And then in the background, you hear, Cipha don't get gas.
Yeah.
So then when I would go out at the clubs and stuff, people would start saying that to me. So I was like, I'm going to take that Russell part off because it's like, I don't need it. People saying this part. And it just became the thing, like, don't get gas means like don't have an ego, don't get big-headed.
Sure. don't forget, don't forget.
But that's, you got to notice when people latch on to something, you got to just run with it.
Yeah.
When people keep saying something to you, use that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You got to be open-minded. It's crazy because you spent 17 years at Hot 97 before, and I remember when we did a show with you when you left or you got fired. I never know. I know you didn't want to talk about it back then.
I couldn't talk about it back then. Yeah.
Did you leave or got fired?
I left.
Okay. But they were about to fire you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, that's what the kids are saying. Like the rumor mill and Google is saying that you had a little rant on your podcast and you said some things and the kids wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you always talked about Hot 97.
Always. The behind the scenes of Hot 97 is Juan Ep fodder. It is material we always talked about. It just happened that this one time, but I still wasn't getting fired. They still wanted me to do like a weekend show, or they wanted me to do middays, which is 10 a.m.
Right.
I was like, nah, that's for like. It's
like kind of going backwards because you already taken over what Angie was doing when she went to the other station.
Yeah,
but you did so much there. I mean, honestly, you had okay. Ebro was a program director there.
Yeah,
he told you he was going to hire Rosenberg.
Mm-hmm.
I remember just from being around different people. Your first impression with Rosenberg, you didn't really like him, right?
No.
I mean, you didn't get along with him well, right? Then
we got along fine when we first met.
Really? I don't know, for some reason.
I didn't get along with him when we did the morning show.
Okay, why is that?
He's a prick.
When you say
prick face.
Why?
Nah, Rosenberg let me tell you something.
He's creative. He's
mad creative, mad funny, mad talented, great on the mic as a host. Even more when I hear him, like we do Juan Epstein at ESPN sometimes.
Yeah.
Listening to him talk about sports,
yeah.
I'm like, yo, this guy is a broadcaster, man.
It's amazing. It's amazing how far he's come.
He's a dope broadcaster.
I listen, ESPN. When I hear him on ESPN, I say to myself, it's amazing that Hot 97 give him the chance to do
I don't
both.
understand how that works.
I don't know how that works.
I don't understand either.
I don't.
I don't understand how you can have 2 radio jobs.
And then even Ebro has a Hot 97 and B. Why is it different?
Because that's not FM radio.
Not terrestrial.
That's like, internet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's not powerful. I'm just saying I never heard of a FM radio jock on 2 different stations.
Why do you think people don't like Rosenberg? A lot of people don't like him. I'm asking
I don't know
you.
why they don't.
Well, why?
I don't know.
Listen. You've been around for a minute. How many people come up to you and complain about fucking Rosenberg?
A couple people, not
Get the
all
fuck
the time.
out of a couple people.
Not a lot. Some people love him.
Yeah.
Some people love him to death. They don't know him. That's why. Rosenberg, I didn't get along with him because he wasn't on time, which to someone who's always on time is
annoying.
Very annoying. And the guy did not listen to me when I was the quote-unquote quarterback of the morning show. But mind you, I didn't want to be the quarterback. That's a tough gig.
But you knew this morning show was coming for a long time. Didn't Ebro tell you he was hiring him and he wanted to set you and get you ready for the morning show?
And you pulled K Fox onto the show.
I brought K Fox, yeah.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's.
That's why they made you the quarterback, though, because you.
No, I understand why I
was.
I understand why on paper I was made the quarterback, but I'm not a quarterback.
Right.
I don't care about current events.
What are you then? If you want to be a sports fucking talker,
I want to be third mic
receiver.
Third mic joke teller.
Since you talk about sports,
okay.
If you're not the quarterback, are you the wide receiver? Are you the running back?
The only reason why I know that I was a quarterback is because that's what Ebro said. I don't know what a quarterback does. I don't know what a wide receiver does. I don't know what a running back does.
You don't know sports.
I don't know anything about sports.
Me neither. I'm with you. So you wanted to be the roller or the passer, but they made you the dealer, and you ain't want to supply.
Yeah.
You just wanted to be.
I don't do drugs either, but.
Okay,
it's
damn.
It's hard to tell.
You
with
in the
fucking eyes.
He likes to eat. You in that restaurant,
right?
And they was trying to make you the manager when you just wanted to be the first fry cook.
Exactly.
Like you just wanted to be there and have fun. You ain't want to be worried about the customers if they having a good time and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, Cindy Walper. Listen, so all of a sudden, Ebro brings on Rosenberg.
Yeah. No, he introduced us before he even gave us the show. Okay. He said this guy will be good for that. But he was right though. On the air, magic. Yeah. Magic on the air, chemistry.
I like the
You want friction. You want friction. You want difference of opinions. You don't want 3 people in a room who all feel the same way.
Sure.
On the air, it was great. It was just off the air that he would annoy me sometimes. But that's just the way he is.
But he takes his radio game serious.
Dumb serious.
Like, for instance, you're cool with Charlamagne, and you don't really know him like that, but you're cool with him.
Cool with everybody.
You're cool. Don't say it like that.
I'm cool with
everybody. You're cool with
Andrew.
We'll get to that. You did so much stuff with her on Sirius.
Yeah.
And she's looked out for you in so many different ways, right?
Love her.
Envy, still cool. Why is it, do you think, that he's in deep battle with all these people?
I don't know. I all the time, I don't understand. He has an ego. He's, I don't want to say narcissistic, but he definitely cares about himself. And when someone treads on that territory, he gets offended and he lashes out. I don't lash out. I don't care.
And I think it's also loyalty to the brand. You know, I look at brands like Hot 97.
Yeah.
Even when I want to use Complex as an example.
Yeah.
People who work there, it's like their own.
Yes.
Like, don't you dare talk about Hot 97. Don't you dare talk about Complex. They get fucking heated.
I will warn you people that if you do feel that way, so loyal to a brand, look what happened to me
17
as an
years.
example.
17 years. Let me tell you something. And
no gold watch.
Hold on. Before Angie Martinez went over to Power reached out to you about coming over there.
Yeah.
But yes, before Angie Martinez went over.
Yeah. Before Envy
you turned it down
twice
because of loyalty to Hot 97, right?
Yes. I would be personally embarrassed if I had to go and tell Angie and Flex that I was leaving to take a job at Power 105.
Even if it bettered you and your family?
It was going to triply better me. And I would be embarrassed because I was so loyal. And then Angie was like, I'm out.
Right.
I was
He was like this.
fucking shit.
So how, like, do you regret that now? Even
No.
though-
It wasn't right for me. It wasn't.
But as far as being loyal, do you ever look?
I don't regret it. I just learned
No,
from
not
it.
regret it. But as far as being loyal, do you double check loyalty now? Like, meaning, like, are you more?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm more aware of, like, make sure it's the right move for me.
Yes.
As opposed to the brand I'm attached to.
Yes.
So
You know what I'm
even
saying?
after you decided to leave Hot, how come you didn't want to like maybe think about going there? Was it too late?
Because there was talks. There was a little bit of talk. I could have pursued it.
Right.
I just didn't want to go to work every day again.
Yeah.
I was happy to be free.
You
I was
didn't like
happy
the
to be
morning
free.
show before. You know, when they did do the morning show, does that pay raise change? You know, I love knowing about money.
Yes.
When you become a morning show, do you sign a
course.
contract?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Just for people who don't know, I would love to know.
You're supposed to, and we were supposed to get paid way more than we did.
So, do you mind even detailing some of what that would pay? Like, what is a morning show host? You were doing Hot 97.
Well,
morning
radio
show host.
changed a lot
Okay.
when we started getting the morning show business, but you could make $400,000 to $800,000 a year doing morning radio.
Wow.
Back in the day, like that's what some people got. So even if I got 300, I would have been happy, which I didn't even get close to that.
Fuck.
But I did make the most money that I ever made.
6 figures.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And that
Yeah.
was for a couple of years.
Yeah, it was for like 5, 6 years.
And then K Fox, they got rid of her.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because it's like Ebro went from program director to on-air personality.
But he's always wanted to. Even
Well, he
when,
was in- he was-
when Miss Jones is on, he'd be in the back just chewing his gum extra loud to make noise so they could be like, Ebro, you chewing? Like, he just always wanted to be mentioned, always wanted to be on the mic. Like, you could feel that.
But he
from
came from the
beginning.
mic though.
Yeah.
He
Do
was
you
a mic
feel-
he was on the mic in the West Coast.
Yeah, and you know what? I will say, again, and shit, I'm trying to be like Cipha and just give credit where it's due, but he is good on the fucking
He's
mic.
very good.
He's good on the mic. I mean, he has like that Charlemagne type fucking, like, he knows
That's
how to fucking
why
pick
he
with
became-
people. And
Yeah, that's why. Obviously, Charlemagne came and fucking wrecked shop.
Yeah.
Well, the whole crew
drove
did.
them crazy. And I said it on last episode. They never even mentioned Power or the names. They would call it like other show or
Yeah.
the other people. Now all
That's
of a sudden
real
they're
radio,
mentioning-
though.
Yeah, now all of a sudden they're mentioning names.
Yeah.
But even so, you got the morning show for all those years. I want to find out what exactly happened with K Fox.
Yeah.
But more so, before we even get into K Fox, how did that feel when Ebro kind of came and people? This is what people have said over the years. Kind of like took your show from you guys.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of wanted that because he didn't want
'Cause
that
you
spot
would-
anyway, he said.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
but
saying,
but
was
but
it?
when you listen to the New Yorkers that were here that listened to the what was it called, the morning show, Cipha
Puerto
Sounds?
Rican, a Jew, and a
Yeah,
black.
A black, a Puerto Rican, and a Jew.
Yeah, when you had a morning show, you
Yeah.
Cipha Sound, I mean you Rosenberg and K Fox, then all of a sudden it's taking from you. When I used to hear you afterwards, I was like, yo, this guy don't sound like he wants to even be there.
Yeah, by then I was a little tired of it, but I don't know. He didn't. Did he steal the job from me? Like, he also saved my job a couple of times
How?
because there was a lot of people got fired. A lot of
Okay.
people got fired, let go. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, there's talks of maybe letting you go, bringing someone in that's more controversial. Someone that could talk more about the certain issues. I was like, yeah, I don't like talking about those issues. Maybe you should get that person. And he was like, all right, what if we give you, he's like, there's a lot of changes. And also the company, our GM got let go,
Yep.
merged with BLS, new people came in.
Yep.
He was like, yo, they want to get rid of you. You want to, how about you take a pay reduction and you become the mixer of the morning show and you can still crack the mic and crack your jokes.
And that was a drastic pay cut.
It was. But again, I was so loyal. I was like, anything to help the station. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have to come in as early and I didn't have to be the boss, which I was loving. So it's like, and then like the pay cut was still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, do I want to get fired or do I want to still be at Hot 97? I thought I still wanted to be there. Then I get, then I didn't really like it. I should have left then, is what I learned later on.
Was your gut telling you that?
My gut was telling me to leave.
And you didn't fucking
I
listen.
always follow my gut. That's why I was miserable. But then Angie leaves.
Out of nowhere.
So my dream slot, which was Angie's slot, which I never ever thought I would even get a possibility to even touch, she left. And I jumped right in it. So if I didn't stay there, I wouldn't have been able to jump in that slot.
But how did you jump in it? By just opening your mouth and saying, hey.
I say, yo, do not put a Spanish girl in there because they'll fucking body her. Like, don't take Laura Stiles and put her in Angie's slot. She'll get destroyed. Instantly.
Why?
Because she can't hold that spot. Like
No,
it's a Spanish. You can't replace the number one Spanish chick ever with just another Spanish chick.
Okay, there we
go.
You can't
pull the wool over the listener's eyes. Like, hey, remember that Spanish chick that used to be here? There's another one.
Like a novella.
So I was like, let me go in there. Everyone knows I'm Angie's little brother, and I don't sound anything like her. I don't do these great personal in-depth interviews. I make funny jokes.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's get me in there. That way it'll sound different, but I still have a name in the market.
Palate cleanser again.
Palate cleanser.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And the only problem I had was that they already knew they wanted Nessa. They already knew that.
The Spanish girl you said don't bring in.
She's not Spanish. They should have just told me that.
But they never told you.
I wanted to fight for that slot.
But do you think, honestly, and no disrespect, I consider you a friend.
Yeah.
Do you think you were worthy of that slot? Okay, no problem.
Of course.
Because, no, I'm saying maybe they had other agenda.
No, they did.
Okay.
But here's my point. Here's how loyal I was to Hot 97. Ciph, we already got a girl that we're putting in there in the 6 months. Can you hold it down until then? I would have said, yes, of course. Whatever you need me to do, boss. That's all they had to say. That's all they had to say.
Why did you, when you said before that your lawyer wouldn't allow you to speak the last time that...
Not my lawyer.
What'd you say?
No, I was trying to get my severance package.
Oh, okay. Did you get a severance package?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
I still lived off my Hot 97 salary for another year.
Nice.
Yeah.
As a radio mixer?
Huh?
As the mixer?
As a mixer, yeah.
I read somewhere that you did say that you would go back to the morning show if Ebro left.
No.
I read that today.
Well, where'd you read it?
Probably on lies.com.
No, I mean...
WW.
I was going to ask you, how true is that statement?
Not at all.
Okay.
Yo, Noriega, it's funny. I remember one time me and you were talking about, you know how people still say WW dot?
Yeah.
And Noriega always says WW dot. Yo, it's a 2W. He's like, go check out WW dot.
Yeah, it's 3 W's.
People do that.
Yo, people do 1 W sometimes. Like, yo, check out yahoo.com. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, you know what? Listen, we got a lot to cover.
It's over already.
No, we don't want to keep you here all night. We're going on a break real quick. Internet, roll up your blunt. Get yourself a snack.
No, he don't do drugs. Just go get some water, put a lemon in it.
Yeah,
clap
lime.
a mint, drop some mint in it, burn some sage.
Yeah.
You know, tell your girl you love her.
Yeah, get some Spam.
Get some food.
Whatever you're going to get. Internet, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. You listen to the
products.
Premium Pete Show with Miss Listen Knows. Cheer.
Al.
Yep, Charlamagne the God here. The Prime Minister of pissing people off, the ruler of rubbing you the wrong way, the architect of aggravation. And right now I'm with my guy, my man Premium Pete, and Miss Listen Knows on the Premium Pete Show, okay? Internets, tune the fuck in. Peace.
Internets, and we're back.
Ooh,
listen, Ciph, listen, you fuck.
Relaxed.
It was a break. Get the fuck up.
Amazing.
Stop listening. Before I even forget, when I asked you about K Fox in the morning show,
okay,
what exactly happened?
I don't know.
No?
I don't even remember.
Well, I'm glad
you are so good at this. You are media trained.
I swear to God, I don't remember.
I'm glad she bounced back though.
She had issues with people.
Her and Ebro, Pete, was getting into it because Ebro's mouth was getting kind of reckless, like how yours is, and she a black woman from Hell's Kitchen, like how I am, and she wasn't with the shit.
First off, you're from Hell's Kitchen. You should
real.
never claim New York City.
But somebody that didn't know. Now you know.
It wasn't that. It wasn't
What was
whatever
it?
People think it was.
It wasn't.
Whatever
Clarify.
she said it was, that Ebro wanted her out. None of that shit. It was corporate. It was all corporate. It's literally just every year, the fiscal year comes around, the new budgets come around February. We call it Slaughter Day when mad people get fired. Like, it's not personal. I could have got it. I was expecting to get it a couple times.
But you lasted on the morning show for 5 years, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, think about it. That's a long time. Look at the Breakfast Club. Would you ever think they last that long? They're on 7 years, I think.
No. I mean, I never even heard the Breakfast Club, so I don't know.
Stop
you too
lying.
lit. Wait.
I never heard them.
They out here. Listen,
I love when y'all do that talk. Who is that?
They're great.
I'm playing with you.
Who used to do that Carmen voice?
My boy Rico. He was our producer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's rich off that.
I thought that was you on the low.
Yeah, see, you should have fucking did that. You would have been making a lot of fucking money. But let me ask you.
Make a lot of money.
No, I'm not saying that.
He's
but
staying somebody. Let him hold something.
Hey, listen. Financially, you should always want to be insightful on what people are doing and how you can do it.
Insightful.
No, you know why I always ask about money? And I'm gonna tell you why I ask. People get into certain different cultures and games.
Oh, you're taking pictures? Let me sit up.
And they don't know Ciph.
Yeah.
Like, there's no book on how much they should charge or what they should. Like, you could get dumbed if you don't know. Mm-hmm. So it's always good to, have some type of, just people around you or just get things from info from different type of, podcasts. Anyway, let's get to Rihanna.
Al, what you do with her?
Rihanna.
Ooh, what didn't I do?
Ciph is credited of being the first person to ever play Rihanna.
Credited sounds like it's not real.
Okay. Ciph
did. The first person.
How did this happen?
I met Rihanna. My boy, Mr. Morgan, who now runs OVO.
OVO Ciph.
He was he had a friend of his that had this girl, whatever. They wanted me to go hear this girl. So I go up to this studio in Westchester, and there's this 16-year-old Rihanna straight from Barbados, and they were playing me a bunch of records, and I was like, oh, that record's dope, this dope. And they were like, oh, we're going to have a meeting with Jay-Z. Jay had just become president of Def Jam.
Yep.
So it was like all in the mix, and I played the record on the radio, like Pon the Replay.
Pon the Replay. Yeah. It's so good to see a superstar give love to somebody who believes in giving love.
Yes.
Even though it's only Instagram, it was dope to see about, was it like a year or two ago?
Maybe like 2 years ago.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, Rihanna puts on Instagram a picture of you.
Yeah. I don't think that was the day we met. Maybe like the second time we met. I think.
Wearing a fucking old school fucking
a Tiziano jersey.
Yeah. You fucking Puerto Rican.
I got it for free.
But figured that,
Shout out to Kim Snow.
And she writes, right? Check this out. She writes, Cipha Sounds, Throwback Thursday. This guy is responsible for putting y'all on. He is the first DJ in history to ever play one of my songs.
Yep.
My very first spin, this man right here, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in the middle of Sears in Brooklyn with my grandma, Dolly. She was dancing all through the floor, telling every sales clerk that it was my song. It was so funny, yet embarrassing at the same time. Luckily, nobody believed her. LOL. Cipha, thank you. You broke my very first song. It kicked down the door for me. You came to the studio, heard Pondy Replay, and believed it would be something on the radio. It takes people believing in you before it comes to pass, enough to give you a chance to be heard. I will never forget that for as long as I live. Yo, honestly, Rihanna is a real-life superstar.
Superstar.
And took the time. You would think that
out of nowhere.
Did our publicist do that?
I don't think so. That sounds personal.
No. That is real karma.
Right.
Listen, that's karma. That's coming back to somebody who's a good dude.
Out of nowhere. That shit came out of nowhere.
You were the most underrated person to be involved in Hot 97. I'm gonna tell you why. You've been through so many different things, so many different positions. Loyal as a motherfucker. Had credited with having a good ear, helping other people out.
Sean Paul, Rick Ross.
Yep. And you played them first too, right?
Yep.
I mean, pop that collar.
Pop that collar.
Talk about Rick Ross.
Oh, me. Rick Ross. Yeah,
How did that happen?
I went to Miami. I actually forgot a part of this story that True Life told me he was part of.
He pulling guns out on people again?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's
on probation. Parole.
Yeah. So we went to Miami, and Khaled was like, yo, I got this record, this guy from down here, and he played it. And I was like, that shit is amazing, the Hustler record, Hustlin'.
Yep.
And I brought it back to New York, and I made a movie on the radio, like a movie. Went in on that record. Did
you tell anyone you were going to do that? Did you?
I don't. Maybe I told
like,
Khaled.
But think about it. If you would have told somebody else about Rihanna, maybe they would have played it first and got credited. Maybe they wouldn't have believed in you. Were you secretive with your dropping, or you didn't even know what you were doing? You're just doing what you believe.
Play what I like.
Yeah,
play what I think the people would like. That's
which
all
is something radio doesn't do anymore.
Not anymore.
Is that part of the reason why you went to leave?
Hustling. No, I don't care about that. Hustling was probably one of the last records broken on the radio.
Wow.
Like because of what we did with it. But you got to understand, like, when I say I made a movie, I would play it, stop it, start it over, play it again, talk over it, make it known to the public that I felt this was special as opposed to...
how Flex does. Bring it back, drop bombs on it.
But no one else can do that anymore. On the radio now, like towards the end when I left, they would tell you can't do that. You can't stop a record and start it over.
Why?
Because the listeners, it makes the listeners not want to live. They change the station.
Only
the hip hop fiends are gonna listen to that. If there's some girl listening, she's like, "Why the fuck does he keep starting this over?" And I don't know this song.
It's a little bit true.
Well, I
don't know this song. Why does he keep starting it over?
It's
and
so
switch
annoying.
the station.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, switch the station.
There's
more of those people than hip hop fans, like fiends. I mean.
Yeah.
So you can't have people change the station dial. Like that's the number one rule.
It's funny because it's like you got so many radio and more so morning show prospects and things to do. Meanwhile, you're just a guy who loves radio and being able to break records and play.
I love breaking records.
And your arms were kind of tied for many years.
Yeah, towards the end, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Like radio plays. I know there's been so many different episodes I feel that have had explaining radio, but why does radio play the same 15 songs over and over again where you love it and then you're tired of it in a fucking month?
Because you think people only listen to the radio a short amount of time. Like they listen to the radio in their car on their way to work or on their way home from work. What's that? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe 30. You got to play their favorite songs within that 15, 20 minutes. And they're only listening. Nobody listens to the radio for 8 hours at a time. You think you do, but you're not. You're only listening to it. Think about, like, time yourself when you listen to the radio in the car. It's not that long. So you got to play their favorite songs.
Who do you think listens to radio in 2016? Those type of people?
If you listen to the radio in 2016, you're just a passive...
But who listens? Who's keeping here?
There's people who love music like us who are fiends and gotta hear that new shit and go buy it or go listen to it. And then there's people who just put on the radio, just want to hear some cool songs when they're driving to go shopping.
But in this day and age, there's so many different opportunities. You could do Pandora, you could do Spotify, you could do Tidal. Yeah. Why would they listen to the radio?
It's the easiest and the freest.
Okay. That's a good response.
That's what it is. You got to look at the tool and how it's used. That's an Ebro line.
Oh, my God. What's your relationship with Ebro these days?
It's great.
Yeah?
I just saw him the other day.
Yeah, it's funny. I seen you a couple of months ago. You were on Hot 97.
Yeah.
And you were like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
You know? What do you think about Laura Stiles, man, and her success?
Love Laura Stiles. Yeah. I put Laura Stiles... I mean, I didn't put her on, but... I was instrumental in bringing her to the morning show.
She's done a great job.
You was like, listen, this K-Fox girl's getting on my nerves. We're going to put Laura in. We can't afford her and her
Spanish community spoke to fucking...
He was like,
never do anything for any community.
Yeah, Fat Joe came over.
Laura Stiles has the sexiest voice on radio.
She does have a great voice.
Is sexy and is on point with radio, like being on radio.
She's done
no disrespect whatsoever, but has a set of chimichangas that if one day she wants to cross the line...
Would you moan about those things?
I would.
Yeah.
So her titties helped her get on the radio?
I don't know if it helped her get on the radio, but it helped me like her.
Well, first of all, you can't hear her titties. So what the fuck?
You can hear them things, man.
Really? Nah, you know what's so funny? I've seen her so many different times. And because I was never formally introduced to her,
you'd be looking at random titties.
No. I never say hello to her, so I'm sure she's probably like, "This guy's a dick," you know, because like
she wouldn't be wrong. She wouldn't be wrong.
No. I mean, hey, maybe
say hello, and you are a dick.
Hey, listen, you fuckhead.
Why aren't there more black personalities? Why y'all let? I speak of the Spanish.
When we were looking for what eventually K Fox got the job, we were having a hard time. A black girl. From New York.
Girl is a racist term.
Black girl from New York that knows the music. Who could it be? With radio experience.
Don't worry.
You had it back then?
I was born with radio. I came out the womb like, yo, Al, wah. By the crybaby.
What the fuck is she talking
I don't
about?
know what she's talking about.
I'm talking about how I was DJing. Even when I was coming out the womb, even though I didn't speak the language, I was still progressive in what I was doing. That's what I'm talking about.
I go from Laura Styles to fucking Miss Wissa.
That's how I do. When you start talking about Kelly, you start talking about Beyonce.
Let's go to Angela Yee. You have a great relationship with her.
Yes.
A lot of people may not know you did Sirius with her.
Yeah.
How did that even happen?
Her first radio job ever.
Yeah. How did that happen?
The morning show on Shade 45.
Didn't you break Shade 45 in?
Yeah, I was the first show on Shade 45.
They approached you? Like, how did that happen?
I was already doing stuff on Sirius.
Okay.
And Paul Rosenberg knew me. And, I went way back with those guys.
Yo, does Paul Rosenberg like Rosenberg?
I think they get along, yeah. Okay. I mean, they get each other's emails a lot. That's always funny.
Okay, so go ahead.
So Paul Rosenberg said, he might be good for the job. He knows the music. M likes him. He's been doing this for years. Loves hip-hop. Perfect. And then he suggested Angela Yee. I knew of Angela a little bit from being like, she managed like Jizza and was down with like Wu-Tang, and I'd see her around. We said hello a couple times. I didn't really know her that well. And I was like, come on. She don't got no experience. He's like, no, trust me, just try her out. I was like, all right, try her out. She came in, first hour, I was like, she's it. This girl's it.
Yeah.
Mad funny, mad smart, on point. I hate gossip, so I don't want to talk about it. She was all on it, on top of it, without even research. She just knew shit. Oh, guess what I heard last night? Boom. And just killed it. Killed it.
Now, a lot of people think Sirius, the pay isn't good. You told me before the pay was good.
It's not good for, it's okay, because everything on Sirius is pre-recorded.
Okay.
But we had a live show, so they had to give us real salaries.
Okay.
It was great.
And you were able to work in between doing Hot and all that.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you want to get on, especially on Hot 97 or in New York, which is the #1 market, you got to kind of go somewhere else.
Yep, go out of town.
Get popping and try to come back.
You got lucky.
I was lucky that I got to go out of town, but I was in town. So I got my morning show experience at Sirius, but then I could still do Angie's show. I could do all the fill-ins, do my weekend show, do Flex's show, and I just killed it.
And again, one of the biggest themes that I've been talking about, being at the right place in the right time.
Place, right time.
You slept in the fucking studio. So when there was snowstorms, you would fill in for fucking Angie.
Yeah.
When there was somebody was out, you'd be there. You were always that person like, I'm here. I'll take care of it.
The only show I couldn't do on Hot 97 was K Slay show. That's the only show I couldn't do.
That's because you didn't have your gat on you.
I didn't have my gat on me.
That's why.
I didn't know that music.
K Slay is underappreciated of how much his ear and his knowledge for street hip hop.
Yes. Is he underappreciated?
I feel. I mean, look at his slots.
Not in the street.
Let me tell you something. When we were in the joint, and he used to tell us to lock in.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't lock in because
it was already
locked up.
We were already locked in.
The doors have been closed already.
But when he closed them gates.
But that's what I'm saying.
I listened.
But he's not underappreciated in that world. That's the world he wanted to be in.
I guess so. I just.
What do you want? You want like corporations to respect jail rap?
Why not? There's good people there. So they made a mistake.
It doesn't work that way.
Okay, well, anyway.
I see what you're saying, though.
What do you believe in sense of Angela? Have you really
Angela Yee?
Yeah. Did you see her rise from that time? Like meaning like you look at her now.
Yeah.
Did you believe in her back then that she could be what she is now?
Absolutely.
Really? So when you've seen everything unfold, right?
Yeah, I was proud each and every step.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a hustler, yo. And you bring her in here, and she could go word for word for eye for an eye, like Mobb Deep and Raekwon and Nas. Like, she's hip hop, yo. She's hip hop.
Angela Yee is hip hop.
Yes.
Let's get to when you left. You signed with Rock Nation.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
What do you mean? It's the biggest conglomerate ever.
You want to know about the checks?
No, I don't want to know about the checks. What is that? Okay.
What are you DJing? Can we get some title for free?
Okay.
You see people on Instagram saying, I signed with Rock Nation.
Yes.
First
of all, Rock Nation is
management company, no?
It's a bunch of different things.
Okay, so what are
management
they doing?
company, a label, an agency. It does everything. The thing about what's great about Rock Nation is that it's very entrepreneurial. So if you're just a no-name rapper and you want to go to Roc Nation, it's not going to happen. You have to have already make something. You have to already make some noise for Roc Nation to be interested. I don't know the theory, the philosophy 100%. This is what I see. Once you get into Roc Nation, you tag along with somebody who works there. No matter what you do at Roc Nation, you might also be a manager or a point person of some talent, right? Not technically, everyone's not a trained manager. Mm-hmm. Like you might do marketing, you might do promotions, you might do A&R, but you're a point person to somebody and you're their manager. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
So since you've been there, a lot of gigs have opened up, right? Didn't they basically had you DJ the title parties that they had?
The title concerts.
That were like superstars. There wasn't Prince at one of them?
Yeah, well, he was supposed to be. He didn't come, but yeah. Yeah, but that's not, nobody said, they didn't look at the roster of DJs and go, hey, let's make sure we have our DJs in place. Let's get Cipha Sounds. I went in there. I said, I want to DJ this concert. They're like, when? How? What do you? I want to do this. All right, you could do 7 o'clock.
Yeah, but they do favor their own people, their own signees. I've seen it. Like, meaning like J. Cole's on Roc Nation. J. Cole is going to Angie. They made sure she went to
family,
Angie
though.
first.
That's family.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is
that's Angie.
There's nothing wrong with what they're doing. They're doing it's smart.
It's not as what's the word? It's not as conceived as you think. That's us. Angie going, that's family. Let me make sure I get them on. Mm-hmm. Not them going, Ange, can you have them on? Like we already know to do that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Speaking of family, how do you feel about Kanye going against the family?
I just kind of heard that. That's kind of weird.
He's going against the family.
I don't know why. I don't know.
And he going in like he's just going. He's upset. Well, I feel like he.
Do you know or what you feel? Because I want to know what.
I mean, I didn't. He didn't pick up the phone. You know, Kanye.
So
then
got just
no
say
phone.
You don't know.
Well, I know the issue. I'm telling you my feelings about it. So anyway, Kanye he was saying that Jay-Z didn't call him after Kim Kardashian got attacked.
Oh.
Now he's also upset because Beyonce allegedly did not want to perform at the award show if she did not win the award. Was it American Music Awards?
I guess.
So he's saying like the same man that jumped on the stage for her before is now saying that everyone's equal and that she's kind of like not down for the art. Like she should have came and performed anyway, even though he was going to win the award.
Oh, you mean something that's none of his fucking business.
Right.
Yeah. It's called mindyourbusiness.com. I live by that life.
Man, Kanye's out here fucking losing his mind. I hear him.
Yeah, but he's kind of like biting the hand that fed him, no?
But what about this? What if he's really losing his mind?
Yeah.
I think he is.
Well, then he needs to go to therapy.
He does need to go to therapy.
Something that
What if that man is literally losing his mind and we're laughing at his rants?
I'm not laughing.
Well, that's what this world does.
The anniversary of his mother's death just did pass as well. So he is probably going through some things. And his wife is Kim Kardashian.
One thing I really respect about you, Cipha, is a long time ago you told me about that you went to therapy.
Yeah.
And how much it helped you and how mad you were that you waited so long to go to therapy.
Yeah.
And you know how
that's my cause in life.
We don't like going to therapy. We don't like talking. A lot of us that grew up in hip hop particularly, or just grew up in the hood, or just grew up in different type of places, don't like talking to people.
I know.
Keep all that shit bottled inside.
Yep. It is the number one problem.
Why is therapy important?
Because you need someone to talk to. There's a lot of issues you have that you don't even know that are so ingrained inside of you. You don't even know how to tap into them or where they come from. And you need somebody to help you who's a trained professional, walk you through some of these things. The therapist doesn't, you're not in there snitching on people or like, it just helps you. Basically, in your brain is like all the materials to build a house. Mm-hmm. But you don't know what to do with them. All the therapist does is teaches you how to use your tools. It doesn't solve everything is not all of a sudden hunky-dory. But the thing is, when I used to get mad, and let's say I was mad at my wife, or when she wasn't my wife, but we wouldn't talk for like a week, 2 weeks. Now, we don't talk for 20 minutes.
Right.
And I take my tools, and I twist this, turn that.
Ow.
Why am I bugging out about this? It's not a big deal. Why did we let it get so out of control? Fix this. Boom. Back to business.
Fucking Bob the Builder.
You gotta pull that tool out and twist this, mix this, fix
Now let me
this.
ask you, why did you go to therapy in the first place? You personally.
I went to therapy because I was scared to get married, and I wanted to ask a therapist, what's the top 5 reasons people come in here and get divorced about?
And
So
can you share them?
I don't even remember because
At least one of them people know. I mean, I've been
Money.
divorced. I'll share it to you.
what do you?
Stress, financial stress,
Yeah.
money.
communication,
Communication is the number one.
sex.
Yeah. But like, I wanted to
You
get.
a
I know that.
therapist.
I wanted to get deeper into like why those problems occur, and then from there, it just opened up a can of worms.
That fucking amazes me. I'm being honest with you. That you fucking go. People wait until there's problems
I know.
to go. You went like as a prevention.
Yeah,
Like, let me ask
preventive
you
maintenance.
something. If I happen to get married, what would exactly happen? Like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, it's a great thing though.
Yeah, but I do that with everything. Why do you do that with other things, but not life, not your personal joy and happiness?
That's true. What
know-
did you find out was the root of your issues?
It's deep. A lot of things. Not having a dad growing up.
Right.
Just you don't like. My mom was mad young. My mom's very sarcastic. So, also I had to like, I was watching my sister at 10 years old, 11 years old. So why was I doing grown up things at 10, 11,
Right.
12? You know what I'm saying? So like all those things add up. And then my mom was young, so it was like almost like an older sister. You know what I'm saying?
So you like grew up together.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom didn't know how to be a mom, and she
Right.
never had a dad. So I didn't have a dad, she didn't have a dad. So it's 2 generations of no father. You know what I'm saying? But all right, I'll give you an example. My therapist was like, I think a lot of your issues come from you not having a father. And I was like, nah, it can't be because my father died. He didn't run away. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't leave me. I understand people die. You deal with it. She was like, okay, cool. Then she brought it up a couple months later. I think some of these issues you having could be not having a father.
You grew up without a father figure.
Yeah. I was like, no, it's not it. It's not it. So then she brings it up again. And she goes, maybe not having a father. I'm like, yo, Rachel, I really don't think that's it. She goes, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. And I want you to really think about it. Who taught you how to shake someone's hand? And I just started crying.
Aw.
Wow.
On the spot. Who the fuck teaches you how to shake a hand? You're going to learn it. It's in our culture. You're going to see it on TV. You're going to learn it. But I didn't know a man teaches his son how to shake someone's hand. And then it's like, that's just an example, like an analogy. Then you start thinking of everything else your dad is supposed to teach you.
Right.
Or my mother was mad sarcastic, right? Kids don't know how to read sarcasm. So your dad is supposed to go, don't listen to your mom. She be bugging out sometimes. So he didn't have that balance.
The buffer.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you, and sometimes I think this, I want to be real honest with the internets, but my sister is gay.
Okay.
And both of them. And she has 2 kids. One of them's in the Marines, but the younger boy is 12 years old. My other sister is married to a woman. They had that in vitro or whatever.
Yeah.
They have twins. I've always questioned, and that I understand it's the world we live in.
Yeah.
That it's different now, but like I always questioned that they need a man in their life. These kids, like for instance, my sister yells at me, like I come over and I rough my little nephew up, and my sister says, leave him alone, he doesn't like that. And her wife says, punch him in the fucking head, get him like she says, like he needs that, but my sister, very stern with me, like, whoa, do not do this to him, he doesn't like that.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, he needs someone to smack him on the ass or give him like a little punch in the stomach or play, you know what I mean? Like, and I love the LGBT community.
Don't forget the Q.
Q. Yep.
Yeah.
What is the Q?
Queer. They added a Q.
No, I love them. Listen, I've been around the community for so long with my sisters.
Yeah.
But I do believe a man is needed in when you're raising kids like that.
I
no
agree.
disrespect.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm just being honest. Like you speak about who teaches you this, who teaches you that. How is a kid growing up with 2 women? Not saying they can't, because mothers are amazing.
Yeah.
Mothers are amazing. I mean, everything they do, and a lot of them have to fucking, because there's a lot of fucking deadbeat fucking dads, and a lot of them have to fucking live with
Right.
both lives. Let me tell you something. There's no touch. There is no direction that I'm like, or no feeling, no comfort like a mother.
Correct.
Those people are honestly, they're amazing. But you need a father in the life. I feel like maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
But
Well, what about you? That's you. You're the uncle.
I know I'm trying, but
But his sister's gonna wash him if he don't listen.
But now we go back to communication. Like, are you really communicating to your sister how important you think it is?
I do, but she doesn't believe that it's that important.
Well, then mindyourbusiness.com.
Right.
I know, but like you said, it affected you. Don't you think you need a man?
It does.
And I don't mean like a man, like, we need a man in the house. No, I'm just saying, listen, you can love whoever
I ran
you want.
away as a kid. I ran away from a lot of problems. I mean, listen, you grow up in the streets, but it's not even the streets. You grow up anywhere. I ran away from fights when I should have stood up for myself. Right. I didn't know how to do that. I learned it later. But yeah, I think
you had a fucking big head growing up.
I don't care.
You could have headbutted a motherfucker.
I don't care.
Of running away from fights.
2 women raise a kid. Great.
No, I'm nothing against
it.
I
know. I'm just saying, like, but there's probably things that
they miss out on.
A man has to be part of, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Even vice
what
versa.
What about two gay guys?
2 gay guys, yeah.
Is it missing out on the motherly touch?
Nah, one of them is a mother. I don't care what y'all.
No, but then you can say one of them is a man. Then you can say the other side.
I was gonna say your sister. One of them.
Of course,
you always
get the. I mean, it's okay to say butch.
I don't know.
It's stud. I believe it's stud. The proper term.
I mean, you guys. I mean,
stud.
Honestly, my sister's. Let me tell you something. My sister's fucking wife is a true man. She sits on the couch, hands in her pants like Al Bundy. And I'll never forget one time. I'll never forget this fucking story. I told my sister, I says, "Hey, are you making any pasta?" And she says, "Yeah, you want some?" And I says, "Yeah." And she turns to me and she says, "I don't like you telling my wife to get you things. Get up and get it yourself." So I turn around, I look at her like, "Are you fucking serious?" She puts her hand in her pants and says, "Babe, do me a favor. Get me some fucking meatballs. They're amazing." I looked at her like, "Are you crazy? You got 3 chins underneath. 3. I mean, 3. She had fucking.
She's a mob boss.
She had a fucking mustache. Anyway, listen. Shouts to her.
She gonna fuck you up on Thanksgiving right after you leave here.
But that's why I'm at that restaurant this year. But real talk, you know, she was very protective, and I feel like sometimes you don't ever see like a girly girl on a girly girl relationships. It's always like
Erica Mena and the one that's with the other girl. What's her name? Santana. That was girl on girl, sexy.
Anyway, who gives a shit
butch.
about that? you really touched a lot on parenting and
I don't know.
No, listen. You for a long time were afraid to have a kid.
Yeah.
And now you're a fucking father.
Yep.
Welcome to the world.
Yeah.
How has it been?
It's great.
And what do you plan to do different?
How old is the baby?
1.5.
Yeah, same age as my kid.
Yeah.
They play together?
Not yet.
You ain't even Kanye. That's another reason why Kanye is mad, because he said that Blue and North don't play together. Fix that, brothers.
Okay. They'll play together. Filipino, Spanish,
fix that, brothers.
Trinidadian, Italian. No, but how is it being a parent? And how important it is? Do you look back at your father not being there and how much you want to be there?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going off of like, I'm riffing. I don't have a blueprint of what.
Let me tell you something. Let me give you some advice.
Yeah.
Remember, I have a daughter that's going to be 17.
Yeah.
There is no manual, no booklet on how to be a parent.
Yeah.
For 17 years, I've been following my heart.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes you don't know. And you have a girl. Oh, my God.
I know.
Enjoy it until
It's
about
crazy.
13. Forget about it. Then it's like being on a roller coaster ride with no fucking seatbelt.
Yeah, I know.
Enjoy the girl.
Yeah, but you're a girl on a girl.
Hey,
well, not like that.
You know,
Not like that.
don't be trying to pull me out the closet.
No, but really, how important is parenting to you, man?
Now
Seriously.
I love it. I was scared before. Now I would have more now, but before I was super scared. But I just didn't know. And then you have it, and you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I don't,
So you do one more?
Chappelle told me, he told a crowd. He was like, he's like, the most important thing, nobody thinks your kid is special as much as you do. So tell your kid how much you love them and how special they are to you. Because anything else doesn't matter. He was like, anybody could teach your kid how to read.
Sure.
Anybody could teach your kid how to swim.
Sure.
But nobody's going to love your kid the way you do. So tell them and show them how much you love them. And once he said that, Chappelle's a great guy.
Right on time.
Yeah.
Chappelle.
Dave Chapelle.
How the fuck did you meet Chappelle? And you've done some... No. Walk us through meeting Chappelle and everything
Probably
you've done with him.
2000. Like I met him with he was around like Most Def and Quali and all that.
Oh, didn't
like,
you DJ for them?
Ruckus, yeah.
Okay.
So he
for
was
Most Def.
Yeah, around Most Def back then. He was always a hip hop fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Backpacker.
Yeah, super backpacker. And one night, I just met him a couple times. And I think he came to the radio station with Most once or something like that, or at Ruckus Records. And then he was on Quali's album, doing those voices and stuff. And then I was with him one night at a party. I think it was a Eminem, the Green Lantern. It was something to do with Green Lantern and Shady.
Okay.
And then we was there. I saw him. We were talking. He was like, "Yo, I'm about to go to the Comedy Cellar. You wanna roll?" So I was like, "Yeah." I had some girl with me. We went to the Comedy Cellar. And afterwards, we were talking. He's like, "Yo, Ciph, I'm about to do this pilot for Comedy Central."
like, did he even realize what it was going to be?
No, nobody did. He's like, "I'm about to do this pilot for Comedy Central. You want to DJ for it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, we're shooting it at I think it was Pace University." He's like, "I'll introduce you to my partner Neil." And he's
Neil
like,
Brennan.
boom, 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 Neil Brennan. And I go, Neil Brennan's there. He's like, "Oh, cool. Dave told me he was coming. Say this, play some music here. Like, I will introduce the show. We're shooting this thing." Boom. Couple months later, Chappelle's like, that pilot got picked up. We're going to do the show. You want to DJ us? You're like, casual, yo. You want to DJ? I'm like, yeah, cool. Go, do the first season of Chappelle Show. I wasn't the DJ for every episode, but most of them. Do the first season, then it goes away. It's on TV. It hits. It's pretty funny. But then the second season, I was there almost every episode, and then that's the season that blew up. That's the Rick James one and all that.
I remember you telling me that I guess they taped a while beforehand.
Yeah.
And you were walking around saying, "Rick James, I'm Rick James, bitch."
He shot the
Tell us about that.
sketch. He shot the sketch. We showed it in the room. The first time it didn't hit.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't hit because we would go to 106 in Park and we would do what they call wraparounds. So Chappelle would be on stage introducing the sketches, just like on the show.
Mm-hmm.
The first time it didn't hit. So they scrambled, they re-edited it, fixed it, boom, boom, boom. Next time, the laughter was deafening. It was so funny. Then the show's over. We're going to bring in the next audience to tape another show.
Okay.
And the audience is like, when somebody in the audience is like, "Can we watch it again?" And they're like, "What?" He's like, "The Rick James." So they're like, he asked the director. The director's like, "Yeah, I'll show it again." As people are walking out, showed it again. Then next audience comes in, does the show again, shows the Rick James sketch. People go crazy. "I'm Rick James, bitch," all that shit. Then at the end of the show, now there's no next audience, so they say, someone's exactly, "Yo, can we watch that again?" They showed it like 7 times, yo, back to back to back. So everyone in that room is in a closed fraternity about knowing I'm Rick James, bitch. I'm saying that for months. I'm Rick James. People are like, "What the fuck are you saying? Why do you keep saying that?" To the point where like I'm tired of it. I stopped saying it. Then it hits, and it comes, and everybody starts saying it. It became like the biggest shit ever.
Amazing. Why do you think that he left all that money on the table and left? Was he just going through something?
I don't know 100%, but like it's like that guy has integrity, yo.
Yeah.
That man has integrity.
So you think something wasn't right?
Right. When you take that much money, you're not a slave, but an indentured servant. You know what I'm saying? When you take that much money, you got to answer. Mm-hmm. They feel like they own you. He didn't want it.
Yeah.
And the guy, like, I've always tried to live the life the way I think it is, but I've taken things I feel I shouldn't have taken because you need the money and blah, blah, blah. Now, the way I live my life, my goal is to live Chappelle's life. To be great at something. He calls it heating up. Whenever you need to heat up, turn on that heat, you could go make money.
You always said, don't chase the money. Chase what you love.
Yeah.
You still believe in that?
Yeah. 100%.
How did you get into stand-up?
People, like, I was funny on the radio.
Right.
And people would always be like, "Yeah, you're funny on the radio. You funny."
Like who? What people were telling you?
Just people in the street.
You need names, nigga. We don't believe
No,
you.
no,
We
no,
need
no.
more
I'll
I'll give you
people.
names. Chappelle.
Really?
Dave Chapelle said, "You're funny. You should do stand-up." I was like, "Nah, never." And then years later, I end up doing it. Will Smith, when he came to MTV, he was like, "Yo, dude, you're funny, man. You're funny." Jamie Foxx.
Really? Look at you. Now you fucking dropping every name.
I'll drop all names. What's the guy?
Martin Lawrence.
No, never mind. Blunt. Who's a singer? James Blunt.
Wow.
James Blunt was like, this guy's funny. So then I was like, it's the same thing as the don't get gas thing I told you earlier. If somebody keeps saying something to you, that's a sign from the universe.
Right.
All right, funny, I'm going to start promoting a comedy show. I'm going to produce my own comedy show. If people associate me with funny, then I'm going to make some money off of this shit. I started doing a don't get gas comedy series. Why don't get gas? Because that's what everybody used to say to me.
Right, it's like Caroline's, right?
I remember you pushing on the
first
radio.
one was at a spot called Comics.
Okay.
Before Caroline's. And packed every month. Packed.
With Hot 97 listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Hill told me that you gave him his first opportunity, like his first,
New York.
like,
Yep.
doing that.
Yep. Mad comedians started at my show. Hannibal Buress used to come to my show. Mad comedians.
So I think that you were diversifying yourself at that time.
Yeah.
And stepping away from hip hop and showing that you could do
No, I
different
never
things.
stepped away from hip hop.
No, not step away, but
Kind of merged it.
but doing something
Because
different.
look, there was a lot of DJs on the radio that sound like Clue. The Clue sound, the New York mixtape sound was a sound. Giving out shout outs with echo on your mic. That's the mixtape sound. SNS, Clue, Doo-Wop, Craig G, all them dudes had like that mixtape sound. I wasn't good at that sound. I didn't have it. I didn't have the street confidence that those dudes had.
Right.
I was jealous of it. I didn't have that Kid Capri voice. I wish I did, yo. It's the illest voice ever, but I didn't have it.
Kid Capri.
But people used to say I was funny.
Right.
So I was like, all right, let me do this funny shit.
Oh, you got to believe in. Let me tell you
Packed
something.
every
people
month.
believe in people who believe in themselves. Thank God you fucking believe in yourself, because some people will say shit to
Yeah.
me.
I mean,
and-
I didn't always have full confidence in myself. I still didn't believe everything, but I just pushed through it.
But you stepped out there. I mean, I've been to
Scary.
I've been to comedy shows you're at. I love your style, your approach. It's funny, and I love where you're taking it and where it's been going. But actually, before we even go into a little bit more comedy and end this episode, Dave Chapelle, I remember you telling me that he called you and was like, yo, I need you to DJ something for me.
No.
This block party.
No, he said, do you want to come to my block party?
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I would like to, but I'm on the radio at that time. And he goes, oh, okay. Then I'm on the radio Saturday afternoon, and this is before the internet, before Twitter, so the phone lines start lighting up. If the phone lines start lighting up, something's happening. Like, why all of a sudden, I didn't say the phone number on the air.
Right.
I'm not giving away a contest. Why the fuck are the phone lines start lighting up? We start answering the phone. They're like, yo, we're in Brooklyn. Dave Chapelle just reunited the Fugees. Yo, the Roots are here. Kanye, Common, Erykah Badu. They're all here. Yo, Dave's shooting a movie. So I'm like, next time I saw him, I'm like, what the fuck, yo? You shot a movie? He goes, I told you. I'm like, you said to come to a block party.
That's the name of the movie.
You thought it was just a regular
I
block
thought he was
party.
having a little get together.
Because I remember you saying like,
Piece of shit.
I remember, yo, I remember you saying like that. He said, yo, you sure you can't come, man? And you're like, yo, I'd rather stay on the radio
I said, yeah,
and
I
not
got-
look bad, instead
I
of
don't want
just
to take
come.
off,
I mean, come on,
go
it's a
to a
block
party.
party.
Yeah.
Should've
I said, maybe I'll come by
pre-recorded that.
after.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You're right. He didn't give me no details.
Yo, Questlove, Talib
Fugees.
Kweli, they
Yep,
were like,
Talib.
why didn't you come to the block party?
Have you ever said anything like on the radio or even in your stand-up routine that caused like conflict? Maybe like people approaching you or some beef in the club or.
Only the Haitian thing.
Oh, because I heard that. I don't know what happened, but back in the day, like you said something on the radio, and then it was a fight or something happened in a tunnel. You got roughed up. What happened?
Me?
You?
No, for something I said on the radio?
Yeah.
What? No, what was it?
I don't know. That's why I wanted
Did you
to
find
tell- I
that on
wanted you to tell me.
mindyourbusiness.com?
No.
I never said anything on the radio to get roughed up. People, they was rough in the tunnel. I know some kid was throwing ice at me once.
Because you said something?
No, because I was playing a Nas. So this is back in the day when we had vinyl, right?
Right.
So album cuts were lower volume-wise because there was more songs on one piece of vinyl. So it made it lower, the level of it, the little volume level. So I was playing a Nas album cut. I don't remember what song. And he's like, this kid in the crowd's like, yo, turn that shit up. And I'm like, yo, it's all the way up. It's an album cut, so it's lower. Yo, turn that shit the fuck up, man. I said, yo, my man, I can't put it any louder. It's all the way up. And he just starts taking ice out of his cup and throwing it.
No, it's like getting tomatoes thrown at you on the comedy stage.
I couldn't help but laugh my ass off, yo. And then security twisted him up. I felt bad for him. But, nah, I don't never say
Listen, they fucking fucked him up. Listen, over the years, you had a great relationship with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I mean, he's came to the morning show, obviously all through Hot 97. He knows who the fuck you are. When you left and you signed to Rock Nation,
yeah,
did you go to his office?
No.
Have you seen him since you've been up in the Rock Nation
of
office?
course.
And what does he say? Is he happy for you?
Nothing. The last time I saw Jay, this is me and Jay's relationship.
Okay.
The last time I saw Jay was maybe like a month ago. His office is on the top floor. We're on the floor below him, where I sit. And he comes to our floor. I think he was meeting somebody, an artist. Our floor is the music side and the sports side.
Okay.
And then upstairs is like title and some other stuff. And his office, which is a whole nother wing. So he comes downstairs, he comes through the door. I was talking to somebody about my social media, the guy who handles social media at Rock Nation. So I was like he was explaining something to me about like Facebook, right? So I'm in the conversation. So Jay walks through the door. I look up, I give him a head nod, and I keep listening to what this guy is telling me. Seeing Jay around Rock Nation, it's not every day, but it's also not rare. Like, he's very comfortable there. It's his office.
Right.
So I look, I give him a head nod. I finish listening to this guy, and he goes, nah, nigga. He goes, nah, I'm still Jay-Z. You gotta fucking smile when you see me. He's like, I don't give a fuck how long you know me. I'm still Jay-Z. And I was like, you right. And I fucking give him a pound. He's like, don't fucking do that cool shit. Say no fuck, I'm Jay-Z. And he just walks down the hallway screaming, yo, I'm still Jay-Z. I'm still Jay-Z.
Oh my
like,
God.
Fucking, this guy's crazy, yo.
He's still
But
Jay-Z.
he's right. He's right.
No, and it's good that he says
Gotta
that.
pop that collar.
And I'll be honest with you, it just goes to show you your relationships over the years are still, intact.
Some
and
of
people
them.
still believe in you.
My relationships are solid, meaningful human relationships.
What about Khaled?
That's why I love you. We like potato.
Because when they had that video come out a couple of years ago where he was like, don't play with me. Don't play with me.
That's why I said some people.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, was
Still
that
cool,
serious
Khaled.
or that was some stage
It was
shit?
serious with a funny twist to it.
Okay, so when they shut off the cameras, what did he say to you?
No, he was a little upset, but he was upset. He made a point. He said, why are you doing this to me when my album's coming out? I don't need this right now. I said, you're right. You're right. I just felt a certain way about the way you've been treating me, and I brought it up in a comedic way. And he got upset about it. But then we squashed it right then.
Yeah. But
Did he come on your show?
He's never been on the podcast.
Still? Okay.
That's the only thing I didn't respect about Juan Epstein. And that's why I felt that the Combat Jack show was premiere.
Wow.
Not because I was on it. It's because you guys were on the radio. So to get a guest, it was like, yeah, come in this other room. And next thing you know, you're on the Juan Epstein podcast. And I felt like, and I'm sure you know later on, finding a studio, booking guests, even though if it's only once a week, some of the top podcasts, it's not as easy as it looks to other people.
It's very hard.
It's a tough thing to do, And I felt like you guys just were, like Jay's on the morning show, Jay's on the Juan Epstein. It was easier access. You don't think so? No,
Jealous,
I do.
nigga. Goddamn.
I was
I
jealous.
do, but also,
Jelly.
of course, why wouldn't we do that? Like that's
Okay,
we're in a
you're
blessed
right.
situation.
You are right. You are right. You are right.
You would do the same thing.
You are right.
Gelatin.
My wrong. My wrong. But it's just. It's just
Every guest wasn't like that.
I'm not saying every.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys has Patrice O'Neal on there, man.
yeah, that was.
I mean, rest in peace, man.
Yeah,
How was that?
that was the last thing. One of the last interviews he did before he died. Yeah, a lot of people would come into hot, and we'd be like, "Yes, go talk over here
Yeah.
and do the podcast."
We'll
But
save the Juan Epstein talks for when Rosenberg decides to come on. I got to get him, since he don't want to go after Charlemagne, we got to put somebody else on, like a guy who owns Boar's Head or something, Fuck out. What the fuck do I know? You know. But as we wind down, we're gonna have let's get into I Don't Trust People. Internet's last week.
What's this?
We didn't get to. I Don't Trust People. When we started the Premium Pete Show podcast, I used to always tweet I don't trust people. What and who I don't trust. Maybe I don't trust lawyers who wear cheap suits. Whatever it is. Later on, so we made a segment on the show.
I don't trust people.
Internet, so you know how to get involved. Use the hashtag I Don't Trust People. That's I Don't Trust PPL. And let us know who or what you don't trust. And if it's some dope shit, we're going to play it on the next episode and feature you. Who we got this week?
Our first submission comes from Tony Earl. Dudes really be walking around with empty designer book bags? I don't trust people.
Wait, you mean nothing's in the bag except...
It's the stuffing from the store.
Well, first of all, you know, this is 2016. It's not what you have, it's how you look, you know? They want to know... it's a perception.
Yeah,
Perception.
a book bag is like a watch.
Yeah, you're trying to tell me that you never had a dress with the tag inside, wore it out one night? And
I don't have a watch that has the right time.
No?
Well, my G
That's not
Shocks
the
are just
same
the color.
of the the watch with the dead battery. I mean, just for show. Or the book bag. I feel like, at the end of the day, why they gotta carry so much stuff in their bag? Like, stop being so judgmental.
I mean,
doesn't matter.
If you got to convince somebody that you're popping, then you're not popping. That's just you got to show some.
You have to convince someone that you're popping, you're not popping.
No.
Isn't that how you pop? You gotta convince the.
Yeah, but that's.
I'm popping.
But think about this
for the
way.
universe to catch it.
But
think
about
I've been
this
like
way.
this.
Would you want?
I had to convince some people.
Would you want people to think that you're popping?
No, they know.
No, but hear me out. You move around with a designer bag, right? People all of a sudden think everything's all good and gravy. They don't know your deep down issues. I'm not saying people need to know that. You know, I've been around, like I always tell people, back in the day in the beginning of the Combat Jack show, I never forget, I was doing episodes, Big Daddy Kane, Chuck D. Afterwards, I had to go. I was working a bread route at night. I had to fucking leave, change my clothes, and I would go into the fucking bread factory, and the guy would be like, "Hey, yo, Pete, get the fucking semolina over there, you fucking jerk off." I'm like, what? I was just with Chuck D. Fucking Chuck D told me to take my number down. They're like, get the fuck out of here, Chuck D. You know, but what I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, I looked good to everyone else. I didn't feel good to myself. But I had to do the night job or the day job because I had to do that to follow my passions.
That's a fact.
So anyway, you know, listen, you could look good, but are you really good? I mean, I could smell good, but am I really good inside?
Really
I'm just saying, show your truth. Show your truth. Show your truth.
But what if your truth is you like dope bags?
And you just don't have a lot of shit to go in it. And if you just had nothing in it, like...
I don't know. I just want more for people. I don't like people who fucking like people. I don't know, man. People who get married, spend $70,000, rent an apartment. People who fucking have Yeezys on, no car.
Maybe they got the
buy
Yeezys
Jordans
for
and get
freezy.
yourself a fucking whip.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know, but whatever. Maybe I'm.
Maybe
burnt.
they got
Who
the
we got
Yeezys
next?
for freezy. Our next submission comes from Black_Gypsy510.
Oh my God.
Okay. I don't trust people that buy an electronic gift, but I got to buy my own batteries. That's a fact. Because I'm going to have that shit waiting forever.
You know, shouts to my mother. My mother, what a great mom she was. Whenever she bought me gifts for the holiday, on the gift that was wrapped was a pack of batteries. Yo, I was like, that's somebody who's thinking ahead of time.
Yeah, that's definitely
how it has to
thoughtful
be.
person.
Because Brielle still has Christmas gifts from last year.
Really?
No
batteries?
I didn't get them batteries. I didn't buy that gift. Santa got to step his shit up.
I brought my ex-wife a dildo one time, and it had no batteries. I'll never forget. She was like,
She
did you
took the
buy
ones
that
out
for
the
me?
remote.
I went to a Pink Pussycat in the city, and I bought it for her. It's called like the, I don't know what it was, like the pearl. The pearl shit. Like it was the one that like had pearls inside it. It was an 8-way
The bunny
movement.
rabbit.
And they had the dolphin on the front, where the dolphin nose hits the clitoris. Oh my God! Forget it.
She ain't
She
never
was
need
climbing
you.
the walls with that thing, but she didn't need me no more.
I know.
I told that story before.
That's why
But
she
the
ain't need
problem
you.
was when I bought it for her, there was no batteries. So she's like, but it worked out that night because she was like, look, we'll get the batteries
you
tomorrow.
could be the battery.
I can't
Batteries.
fuck with vibrators, yo.
You never fucked with a girl that wanted toys in the room?
He's Spanish. By the time he finished eating, girl, she
I'll tell you
tired.
that. I'm jealous.
Bro, I fucked with a girl one time. She had so many fucking toys, bro. So many. She had the one with the big fucking, like, it was like yo, she had everything.
Jackhammer?
Everything. She had the egg, the dolphin, the fucking spider. She had machines that looked like chainsaws. I swear to God, she was going to town. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, how do I fuck this girl after this? I'm not pleasing. That thing, the thing she turned on, it was like a mushroom. Let me tell you something. That fucking thing was so loud and vibrating. I didn't know how I can compete with that. Anyway, whatever.
Our next one is from the Premium Pete Twitter. You got to follow that. I don't know who
Premium
did it.
Pete or Premium Pete Show?
The Premium Pete Show.
Okay.
So it's a Pete tweet indirectly. I don't trust people that put mayonnaise on breakfast sandwiches. I agree with this.
Ooh.
Like, what sandwich is
Well,
okay?
what do you consider a breakfast sandwich?
Like an egg and
Maybe,
cheese.
yeah, like maybe
egg and
only one I was thinking is okay for breakfast is like a BLT.
Yeah.
But even that is like lunch worthy as
BLTs.
well. But I was like, because I was in the deli the other day and this girl definitely put mayonnaise on her bacon, egg, and cheese. And I was like, girl.
That's gross.
And then somebody else ordered a bagel with cream cheese and bacon. And I'm like, is that good?
I mean, are you against bacon, egg, and cheese with ketchup? Because that
No,
is big.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
so
People-
sometimes accidentally I created this other one, bacon, egg, and cheese with jelly.
Really?
It's
seen
so
that.
good.
No,
It's
I
the new
can't do that.
McGriddle.
First off, if you want to use jelly, when I was up north, I used to take all the apple jelly packets and bring them back in my cell with me at night. Yeah, no, apple jelly.
I love apple jelly.
Apple jelly is official.
Remember when
Internet's-
Popeyes had apple jelly?
Oh
they
my
they
God.
discontinued
I used to,
that.
yeah, but the problem is they were cheap with it. They were cheap with it. I used to ask them for apple jelly. They only give you one extra packet. Give me a fucking couple
I be
more.
like, bitch, you not Popeye, Olive Oil, or Pluto.
Wait,
Give
who
me
is
some
cheap,
more
Popeyes
packs.
or
yeah,
jail?
Popeye.
Oh, Popeyes.
No, jail was official. Jail. I used to take a handful, you know. But Popeyes, you ever go to McDonald's and they fucking want you ask for
Yeah.
barbecue sauce
Yeah.
and sweet
They
and
wanna
sour?
charge you.
The fuck out of here.
I'm like, bitch, you not the hamburger at
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald
don't
or
care. Hot 97
Grimace.
didn't care about Cipha
The
Sounds. You
fuck?
think McDonald's cares about you? The fuck out of here.
Fuck
What we
out
got
of
next?
here, ho. So our next one comes from Bashura Ray. I don't trust people that drive cars without hubcaps or rims on it.
You know, it does stick out
I
though
don't
when
drive,
you see
so-
somebody who has, but it's usually because they had a flat tire and you know they didn't.
You got to
change
get the
their
10
rim.
to keep them clean.
I don't care about that.
Now it does look funny on a car though when you have no rims or hubcaps, or if you have one hubcap missing.
I want to get a sign on my car that just reads, I don't care what you think.
Well, you could get one that says that your kid's on an honor roll now. You know, one of those
Get
stickers.
one that says this. Our next submission is from Brazen Man Hussy. I don't trust people that was wrong about the election but won't admit it.
Yeah, but I think
Shout out
that's-
to you, Prodigy,
I think
because you told us that it was what he said it was.
the selected, not
it's
elected.
selected, not elected.
Who said that?
Prodigy.
No, but he was right. And
kinda dope.
I did agree with him, but it turned out
I
to be
did too
wrong.
until the wig one.
First of all, I think no one could really admit it because people are still shocked.
And Kanye jumped on stage and said he was going to vote for him too.
I don't give a fuck
He been
what he
going on
says.
rants all
He's
week.
a troll.
He's on his
Fuck.
period.
Who gives a fuck?
I knew Trump was going to win.
You knew that?
Yeah.
Because you was right in the building with
Are
the
Latinos
moons.
for Trump?
I don't know.
No, 8%
Here's a
of them.
problem when you say are Latinos for Trump. All Latinos ain't the same.
Oh, really?
They're not even for
Yeah.
Latinos.
That's why Hillary's like, oh, the Latino vote. I'm not like this Colombian motherfucker over here. I don't know him.
Yo, why do Spanish people? Why do
Spanish
certain-
is a language.
But why do certain Spanish people don't like each other? Like Dominicans
No,
don't like Puerto
a lot of
Ricans.
people don't like each other.
No. But here's the thing. I have tons of Spanish friends. If you turn around and say, yo, what are you, Dominican or what are you, Puerto Rican? If you get it wrong, they get fucking
want the real
heated.
reason?
Yeah, why?
You want the real reason?
Yeah, the fucking real reason.
Because the system teaches us not to like each other. It's called divide
And conquer.
conquer.
Preach.
Don't
Which
step
one
on
of
my
you
words.
nationality? Which one of you fucking Dominicans or Puerto Ricans? Who invented sazon? Who was it? The fucking
don't know.
Colombians,
I'm
the
barely
Guatemalans,
Puerto
the
Rican.
Mexicans? Who?
I'm
not
not really
Puerto
Puerto
Rican.
Rican.
Man, I forget that you're fucking fake
And I know
Puerto
you
Rican.
not
I'm
talking
American.
because when
I'm
I
a
call
real
you
American,
white, you
like
was like,
Hulk
I'm not
Hogan.
white, I'm
I
Italian.
never said I'm not white. I'm Italian.
You said
I am
I'm not
white. I am
I
white,
am a
but I'm Italian.
real
Or somebody called you
American.
Sicilian, you don't be like,
I am
the fuck
Sicilian.
on.
I am
Oh,
Sicilian.
well, then there
But I
you
don't have
go.
a problem with Calabrese or Napolitan, or if anybody's from the fucking Rome.
I don't got a problem with
Some
El
people do, though.
Capitan either.
I don't have a problem with that. And
Don't step on his words.
even Asians do that. Asians get mad if you call them Chinese. Nah, I'm Korean. Well, how the fuck do I know?
Because you got to know what restaurant you in. You in a Thai restaurant talking about you want goddamn sushi. They don't have that there.
Yeah, but even
you
like,
got to know.
I was talking with a how do you say Hasidic? Is that a Hasidic?
Hasidic.
Oh, excuse me. What the same thing? Hasidic Jewish guy, and he was telling me. He was telling me.
The Jews is
I was
gonna
like,
come
no.
get us. The Rosenbergs.
I was like, yo, what's up with the community? Because he was telling me about a community in Jersey, and I was like, he's like, nah, not really. Those are Syrian Jewish people. And I was like, what's the difference? Like, he's like, nah, like they look at them as they're different. I didn't know that.
Everybody's different.
I didn't know that. But how the fuck
Everybody
are you
is
supposed to
different.
know?
You don't know. You ask.
I guess so.
Is Oriental rude to say? We were just having a conversation about that.
Yes.
It is? It's like calling somebody
Asian. What type of Asian are you? You could say, I guess.
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah, but in England they say Oriental.
That's what I'm saying.
Asian people in England are Indian and Pakistani.
They don't even want to be called that no more. Indians want to be called South Asian.
Are you serious?
Yep.
But that's
Shout out
here.
to Didi Sharad.
That's here.
Yeah, but then you can't make curry no more if you want to be considered South Asian. I never heard no South Asian make curry.
That's what they want. It's not India. It's South Asia,
Man.
and that's where they eat curry. It's Cajun, curry Asian.
I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, whatever.
Why are you getting so worked up about it?
Because he's white. They don't like when things start getting finicky. They want to make it great
Listen,
again.
You fuck. I get mad because I'm gonna tell you why. I get mad because I don't know, and then you get upset. So, for instance, I tell you, if I see an Asian person,
But you know-
and I say, "Are you Chinese?" and they look at me like, "No."
You gotta say
I'm
what are
Japanese.
you?
Say what's your ethnic
I say, "I'm
background?
sorry, I didn't know."
You say you have
Even Dominicans, listen, you could not sit here and say
could.
that they don't get mad.
Some
Dominicans,
do.
if you tell them Puerto Rican, what are you, Puerto Rican? They're Dominican, they go fucking crazy.
Because the hips don't lie. You gotta know that ass.
Which one of the Latin community?
I don't know.
Which one of the Latin communities more the mothers kiss their sons on the mouth?
I don't know.
I'm telling you, it has to be the Puerto Ricans.
Yo, they gonna come for you.
No, growing up,
The
they
opinion
used to
stated is not that of the entire Premium Pete Show or Cipha Sounds. Just
I don't
Premium
ca- I don't
Ignorant
know.
Medium.
Did your mom
I
kiss
don't-
you on the mouth?
No, my mom's not Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay, that's true.
But
Anyway,
I don't know. Here's the thing. Here's the best way to live, according to me. Why waste your time thinking of those things? Why do you bother? Why is your stress level going up? Because you don't know if a person is Korean or Chinese. Who gives a fuck?
You don't like their reaction
I don't
to
like
him.
their reaction to me. Like I'm a heartfelt person. I always say I'm the person that if I hold the door, and then all of a sudden you don't say thank you, I get upset. But I think like that. Like, so if I'm being heartfelt, like, yo, what nationality are you?
Nah,
Chinese?
you're not saying that. You stating what
But
you
nationality is also
Well,
the
I don't
wrong
mean
term.
that. I mean, I guess whatever. Listen,
think. Say, what the hell is your great grandma?
When I ask
Shit.
people, I say, "What is your ethnic background?" That's what I say. You don't got to say that.
Okay.
You can say whatever the fuck you want.
no, I get it. But
That's
listen,
what I say.
What do you have one to add? I don't trust people. Who or what you don't trust? You have something to add?
Oh man, I'm on the spot.
Yeah, you always been on the spot your whole fucking life.
Improv.
man.
I don't know. Who do I not trust?
Who or what
You know what's
don't
funny?
trust?
You just said it. The fucking people you hold the door for and they don't say thank you. I fucking hate those people.
Yes.
I hate them to death.
Does that make
I
you?
was getting rude. I'm like, I'm not a door person. You welcome.
Yeah, but let me ask them. Did they ask you to open
don't
the door
give a
for them?
fuck what
no,
ask
I'm
they
asking.
did.
Did they ask you to open the fucking
don't
door?
Yeah,
for
you're
them?
right. I guess you're right.
So that's why now I'm rude. I be
Yeah,
trying
but that's
to.
not
I
fair.
just try to open the door real slick crack and just slide through and let it close.
That's
on them
not
now.
fair. You know
Fuck
why?
outta
Because
here.
if one person ruins everybody else.
That's what
Don't let
one
that
bad
affect
apple.
you, because
Fuck
someone
outta
one day is going to
here.
appreciate that shit.
Fuck out of here.
Anyway, Ciph,
Over
listen.
here.
Listen, just nod your head, yo.
Ciph, let me tell you something.
Say thank you.
17 years of Hot
That
97.
I'm Jay Z.
Yeah.
You better smile.
Listen,
You see me.
listen as we go, as we wind this episode down. 17 years of Hot 97.
Yes.
Fat Beats on tour with Lil Kim.
Yeah.
Morning show.
Most Def and Talib Kweli.
A DJ. Who else are you DJ for? Nori.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Dave Chapelle.
Dave Chapelle.
Doing shit with what's that comedy show you had on Tidal?
No small talk.
No, Small Talk.
And what
You're
about the
signed
show
to
on
Rock
MTV
Nation.
with Rod Digger? What was it?
Huh?
You had a show on MTV too.
No.
Okay.
I was a
You were
VJ
always
on
on.
MTV.
Yeah, you were
Oh,
VJ. Yeah.
Okay.
VJ and MTV.
We were hanging out with Carson Daly back in the day.
No, he was gone by
Who was
then.
that news guy that was on? Remember, he used to do the news. That weird looking fuck. What was his name?
I used to see him around. Yeah,
That guy looks like Leo Cohen's cousin.
Yeah. Wait, one of those guys. Which one are you talking about?
The
John
main
Norris?
news guy. The one.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy. The main
Yo,
guy.
there's one guy. I think not Kurt Loder.
Kurt Loder. That's his name.
Yeah, but the other guy, John something.
Yep.
I heard, and I don't like to spread rumors. You didn't hear this from me, but I heard, or one of them guys early bought the name MTV.com.
Really?
And then when the internet started blowing up and they went to buy MTV.com, he was like, "Yeah, I want a lifelong job."
Oh.
No.
Yep.
That was smart.
Was it?
Wow.
Love that guy.
That was smart. What about Downtown Julie Brown? What she own?
I don't know. That was a long time before.
Have
me.
you ever had any sexual encounters with some of the celebrities that
Yep.
you? Let's talk about
He's a
it.
Nope.
fucking liar.
Rah.
What about Cassie?
You had sex with Cassie?
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean sex. Like, didn't
Head.
you get involved? No. Who's what's some other songs that you helped drop?
Nina Sky?
Nina
Move Your
Sky.
Body.
That's right, Nina Sky. I love them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you also do an A&R, right?
I A&R'd for Raucous Records, Tommy Boy, Star Trek.
Tommy Boy had the
Rockefeller.
best varsity jacket back in the day in the
They
game.
did.
Yeah.
Did you ever play some songs for sexual favors or money?
No.
Don't you fucking lie.
Never.
Okay. All right.
What's the point?
Well, listen, what happened with the OVO Cipher? You're not down with them no more? They got too Hollywood.
I never was down with them.
Yeah, you were. They loved you. Drake
Yeah,
loved
he put you down with
No.
them.
Yeah.
What
Never
about
loved
the
me.
show that you were working on with Alicia Keys?
Still working on it. Pitching an improv TV show.
And every week you're at UCB Theater, right?
UCB East.
The hip hop, what's it called again?
Take It Personal, the hip hop improv show.
I was on there. I
You were?
appreciate. Yeah, was you fuck? You don't remember?
I said you was,
Oh,
not
okay.
with a question mark.
No. I appreciate you giving me that opportunity.
It was great.
Yeah.
Funny stories.
Yeah, no, we had a great
I was
time.
there.
Yeah, you were.
You were?
Yeah, she was rooting me on.
Oh, nice.
Who
It
would
Was at
ever
the
thought?
beginning of who? Right, right.
Internet works funny style, right? No, but listen, Ciph, I'll tell you, I wanted to have you on.
Thank you.
Honestly, because your story, your journey is inspiring. Even though you don't look at it like that, you're like I'm a boring guy.
No, I mean, it's just,
But you've done a lot. You've done a
Yeah.
lot. And here's the thing. You still, for the most part, kept a great attitude. And you've
for the
been...
most part.
You a little bit bitter, my nigga.
No, think about it. A lot of things didn't go your way. You still kept on kicking, man.
Yeah,
And it's
because
inspiring
a lot of
to
things
see
did
that.
go my way.
Yeah,
I wish I was bigger. I'm not.
yeah,
Fuck it.
yeah. But you're happy with who you are, and
Yeah.
that means everything.
That's the key.
People don't understand. People say, how do you find the perfect balance? No, it's the one that you are comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I feel like you found yourself, and, it's just...
I drive an Escalade.
Okay, nice.
I drive a Cadillac Escalade
Mm-hmm,
with a DVD player in it that I love watching movies while I drive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a hoopty Escalade.
Mm.
It's fucked up.
What kind of air freshener you got in there?
It squeaks.
Kind of air freshener you got in there?
It's banged up on the sides.
What's the air freshener?
I don't have
New
air
car
freshener.
smell. What the fuck?
I do like a peppermint.
Get the fuck out of peppermint.
I do a peppermint.
Listen, internets, if you want to have a car that smells real good and just be luxurious in life, get yourself some linen, clean cotton, laundry, any type of fucking thing like that.
Right.
Let somebody walk into your car or come into your car and let it smell like a fucking dryer.
What about dirty laundry?
Get the fuck out of here. See, now that Puerto Rican side's coming out, huh?
Now the Puerto Rican side is clean. They gonna have it smell like fabuloso.
Oh, Mr.
Here's
they
the
don't
thing,
use
guys.
that, they use Mr. Lean.
Here's the thing. Some Puerto Ricans are clean.
They are.
Some Puerto Ricans are dirty.
There's not that many though. It's like fat Asians. It's like limited
Here's the thing.
amounts.
Some Asians are fat. Some are not. Everything and everybody is everything.
Yeah.
So stop
What
wasting your time thinking about it.
What was a nasty word they used to call Chinese back in the day?
I'm not sure.
What was it
Chino.
called? Chino? No, that was Spanish.
What?
Didn't they used to say...
You think about West Side Story.
didn't they
It
used to
definitely
say-
was Chino.
Okay. Nah, who knows?
A chink?
A chink, yes. That's what they say.
You
so,
know, you just want me to say it so you ain't saying, oh, yeah, that's
So
the
if
one.
you say chubby, that would be a chunk, But... okay, I'm only playing. Before we wind down,
Yeah.
we're almost done.
Yeah.
I will say this. You do comedy, obviously.
Yes.
Internet's... If you see Cipha Sounds in a comedy show in your town, make sure you go out, buy
Please.
tickets, fuck with him. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. What is it, Cipha Sounds?
Well, if you're still listening at this time,
They still listen.
At Cipha Sounds. Cipha Sounds.
That's the best way you can find where somebody's going to be in your town or whatever the fuck they're up to. But and I always ask this of comedians. You know, are we in a world where it's too emotional for us to say things like chink?
Yes.
But
you sound
funny?
like you're saying it in a negative way. That's why.
I do. I'm not saying me. I'm saying in general.
But here's the thing.
Can you be? People take everything personal these days.
Yeah. There's no getting offended at comedy, especially at a comedy club. If you're getting offended, you're just a fucking fuckface. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, the Italian accent from all the movies we know, you sound racist.
I do. Oh, now you call me. Well, listen.
But I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that sound.
Hey, listen. First of all, if you know,
outta here.
First of all, now you're being too Italian. I'm not really being like that.
You're not far from what I just.
But
did.
I will say this: people who know Premium Pete know that there was a lot of AKAs: racist Pete, sexist Pete, misogynist Pete, preacher Pete, financial Pete. Man. What else? Anything else?
Why is this going so long?
What else? What do you mean, you fuck?
Procrastination Pete.
Well, anyway, internets, listen. Cipha Sounds.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
We love him. Oh, yeah, that's how you want to fucking end?
No, thanks for having me. Listen, go to therapy. Talk to somebody. Join a group. Don't be a little fuckface. Show your emotions. Be vulnerable. Love and be loved. And I'm out of here.
Grind hard, pray 3 times.
There we go. Cipha Sounds.
Grease your scalp, drink water.
And be on time. Be on time. Because
unless it's a black event and they gonna be late anyway, and you don't want to just be sitting there waiting for them to get there, okay?
No, and listen, you talk about racist jokes. Cipha has this one joke that I die laughing where he is in the stands and you ask people, "What's your name?" You know, if you're a black, like, "What's your name?" And he's
black joke indicator.
How's that go?
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work here.
Okay, that is true. That is true. Internet's Google Cipha Sounds comedy.
Just go
check
out
out some of his shows. Check him out on whatever he's doing. There's a lot of things coming.
Some black people are late and some aren't.
Hey, listen.
Those are the new black. That's the Africans. That ain't the full-fledged.
Internet's Cipha Sounds. See you next episode.
Don't get gassed.
Cheer.